Celestial Immortal Clan. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 201 Compensation. After waiting for a while and making sure that Zhao Linyu had finished reading all of them, Lin Changqing asked, "Have you finished reading them all?" "What do you think?" Zhao Linyu thought for a while before speaking. "I didn't expect that the two techniques left by my great-grandfather would actually involve the two major forces in the upper realm. And they can be cultivated to the great perfection of the transformation of the spirit, which is far beyond my imagination." Lin Changqing nodded and continued to ask, "Then do you think it would be a blessing or a curse to leave these two techniques in the Zhao family?" Zhao Linyu's face turned pale when she heard this. She opened her mouth but no sound came out. In the end, she could only shake her head in frustration. Lin Changqing felt a little bit sorry to see her like this, but there were some things he had to do. He continued, "The matter of these two techniques far exceeded my initial estimate. At that time, I promised you to copy a copy for the Zhao family. I expected it to be just an ordinary technique, but I didn't think much of it. But now it seems that it won't work. So I want to discuss with you that I won't let you copy these two techniques. In the future, I will find two more techniques that can be practiced to the golden core stage at least and give them to you. As for whether you keep them for yourself or give them to the Zhao family, I will not interfere. And when you reach the great perfection of foundation building, I will give you a purple mansion twinkling pill so that you can advance to the purple mansion stage. Finally, when the Kingain bamboo grows up, I will give you a 1,200-year-old one so that you can refine your life magic weapon. Or, if there is a magic weapon suitable for you in the future, I will give you one directly. You can choose either of the two options. What do you think?" Zhao Linyu couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief after hearing what Lin Changqing said, and she felt much better in her heart. With these compensations, she could be said to have explained to the ancestors of the Zhao family. At first, she thought Lin Changqing would kill her to silence her, and she had accepted her fate and prepared for the worst. Unexpectedly, Lin Changqing actually gave such a generous compensation method. What else could she say? Zhao Linyu said seriously, "Thank you, master, these are much better than I expected." "I agree," Lin Changqing nodded. He had been observing her through the golden runes and knew that she was not lying. This is the best, she can continue to survive in the inner space. If she is greedy, then there is nothing I can do. I can only say sorry to her. Now that the problem can be solved through discussion, it is the best. He really doesn't want to be a person without bottom line. Fortunately, Zhao Linyu did not make it difficult for him. Then Zhao Linyu respectfully returned the 3 jade slips to Lin Changqing. Lin Changqing thought for a while, took the 2 jade slips of the exercises, and then said, "You can copy the jade slip about your family. But in the copy, all the records about the 2 exercises must be deleted or modified. And in the future, without my permission, you can't leak any information about the 2 exercises. This is an order, remember it." Zhao Linyu was overjoyed when she heard what Lin Changqing said, and hurriedly said, "Thank you, master, I will remember your order. I will never mention this matter to anyone again. Please rest assured. For this jade slip, I will only copy the family origin and genealogy, and the basics don't need to be copied." Lin Changqing nodded, which was good, so as not to modify the contents inside, which would be really troublesome. Then Zhao Linyu started copying in front of Lin Changqing. There was not much content in the family origin and genealogy, and Zhao Linyu copied it in half an hour. Then he handed the 2 jade slips to Lin Changqing respectfully. Lin Changqing was not polite, and directly checked it. After there was no problem, he returned it to Zhao Linyu. It took more than an hour to process these 3 jade slips. There was still a place to go. Lin Changqing didn't want to waste time here anymore. Leading Zhao Linyu, the two came to the entrance of the Chen family ancestral hall. It was up to Zhao Linyu to lead the way. This time it was much simpler and smoother. Zhao Linyu avoided various traps with ease and led Lin Changqing into the secret room. Then in a secret compartment, she took out the inheritance of the 3rd-level spiritual plant master and was about to give it to Lin Changqing. Lin Changqing waved his hand and said, "You can start copying directly. We will go back early after finishing it, so as not to have to do it again later." Zhao Linyu thought it made sense, agreed, and immediately started to work. Lin Changqing was too bored, So he read some books collected in the secret room and checked them all. As expected, it was just as Zhao Liaoyu said, they were all ordinary exercises, some introductions to cultivation, common sense, and the rest were some travel notes and books recording the customs of the world of cultivation. Lin Changqing was not interested in these, so he just flipped through them casually to kill time. Fortunately, after an hour and a half, Zhao Liaoyu finally finished it. Lin Changqing put away the original jade slip, and the remaining new jade slip was put back into the original secret compartment by Zhao Liaoyu herself. Then the two chose to return by the same route. Fortunately, it was still late at night, and they did not encounter any villagers, which saved a lot of trouble. The two successfully returned to the woods outside the village. Lin Changqing arranged some purple crystal scorpions outside the magic circle, and then the two entered the maze array. Lin Changqing glanced at Zhao Liaoyu and said, "Things here have been successfully completed here. I will take you back to the inner space." Zhao Liaoyu nodded, and was put into the spirit beast bracelet by Lin Changqing, and then Lin Changqing entered the inner space. Every time, Lu Yaoqiang and the others discovered Lin Changqing first, and then they enthusiastically surrounded him to greet him. Now Lin Changqing was in a very good mood. He stroked the fur of the whole family, and fed each of them a spiritual pill, and then let them go to play by themselves. After doing all this, he raised his hand and released Zhao Liaoyu. She was a little uncomfortable after just entering and coming out so quickly. She was switching back and forth between 2 or 3 spaces. Fortunately, she quickly adapted. Seeing that she had returned to normal, Lin Changqing said, "The mission to Fengtai County this time has been successfully completed. The harvest has greatly exceeded my expectations. I am very satisfied. I will fulfill the promises I made to you as soon as possible. You should also seize the time to practice and strive to build your foundation as soon as possible." Zhao Liaoyu was completely relieved when she returned to the inner space. Hearing Lin Changqing's instructions, she quickly replied, "Thank you, Master. I will seize the time and practice hard, and I will ensure that I will not fall behind in my own work." "Please rest assured, Master." Lin Changqing nodded and said nothing more. Then he let her leave and do her own thing. This time, Zhao Liaoyu was indeed a little bit indebted to him. But there was no way. For Lin Changqing and his family, these 2 heavenly level skills were too important and must not be spread out. So Zhao Liaoyu had to be wronged, and Lin Changqing also tried his best to give her some compensation, and did not do anything to take advantage of her. Fortunately, Zhao Liaoyu also knew the overall situation and did not make Lin Changqing embarrassed. After discussing, the problem was solved smoothly. Therefore, Lin Changqing decided to give Zhao Liaoyu some preferential treatment, and then told her to practice hard and build a foundation as soon as possible. After everything was done, Lin Changqing went around in the space and found no problems, so he exited the inner space. Back in the maze array, after estimating the current time, it should be around the time of yin, Lin Changqing stopped practicing and found a place to lie down and rest. At this point, the matter in Fengtai County was successfully completed, and 2 heavenly level exercises pointing directly to the avenue were obtained, and a 3rd level spiritual plant master inheritance was inherited. Lin Changqing was very satisfied, which could be said to have greatly exceeded his psychological expectations. Prepare to have a good rest. After dawn, he will set off for Baishan County, and this time he will fly for several days in a row. Chapter 202 Conjecture about the acupoints. A few hours passed in a flash, and the sky was already bright. After Lin Changqing finished his training, he began to retrieve the small 5-element maze array. To be honest, it was much more convenient to have this array in hand. Lin Changqing liked it more and more, and then summoned back the purple crystal scorpion arranged outside the array. Looking at Xiaojia village, some villagers had begun to get up and walk around. Lin Changqing didn't want the villagers to see him. So he walked a few hundred meters outside, and after confirming that the villagers would not see him, he controlled the flying boat and set off in the direction of Baishan County. On the 1st and 2nd days of the 1st lunar month, he went out early to fly a circle and came back. Now he has been cruising over Lin Changqing's hut for a while. Lin Changqing's mind moved, and 2 golden-winged birds came over. He fed them each a spiritual nourishing pill, and then officially set off. Lin Changqing had confirmed the direction through the map given by his grandfather, and he no longer needed to ask for directions or anything, which was much more convenient. This flight took another 4 days. Because he was not in a hurry, Lin Changqing did not rush so much, otherwise 3 days would be enough. Baishan County was successfully found, but Lin Changqing did not go in. Instead, he flew forward for a distance and found a hidden place to land. Then he raised his hand and let Lu Xinyi out. After staying in the space of the spirit beast bracelet for so long, the concept of time has become blurred. When he first came out, the whole person was in a state of numbness. Lu Xinyi was also stunned for a long time before he finally reacted. Lin Changqing gave him some time to adapt and did not urge him. Of course, the main reason was that Lin Changqing himself also needed to take a short rest and recover the consumed spiritual energy. After a long while, Lu Xinyi spoke first. Where are we now? This is in the southeast direction of Baishan County, about 10 miles away. What should we do next? Lin Changqing asked lightly. Lu Xinyi sighed, was silent for a while, and then said, fly to the southeast by east. In the past, I could fly to the small mountain village where I was born in about 3 hours by flying with my own flying tool. It was called Ujiji. Lin Changqing nodded and looked at the sky. It was estimated that even if he successfully found Lujiji, it would be around dusk. Suddenly, he remembered that Lu Xinyi had no cultivation at all now, just immortal, so there should be a lot of garbage in the space during this period. So he said, when you go back later, clean up the space you live in. Don't leave the dirty things in it. After I get the things in the cave, I will put you in Lujiji. Lu Xinyi was overjoyed when he heard Lin Changqing's words. Although he didn't know whether it was true or not, it finally gave him a thought. So he quickly agreed and promised to clean up the space when he went back. Lin Changqing nodded, said nothing, and then sent him back to the original space of the spirit beast bracelet. After Lin Changqing recovered his spiritual energy, he flew in the direction that Lu Xinyi said. More than 3 hours later, with the help of Chu Ai and the others, they finally found this small mountain village. It was located in a small valley. It was really small, with only 20 to 30 households. If it weren't for Chu Ai and Chuer's help, Lin Changqing didn't know how long it would take to find it successfully. When Lin Changqing arrived, the lights in the village had been lit, and it was just about time for ordinary people to eat. He landed in the woods outside the village, and then covered himself with a gauze magic weapon, deliberately went in and walked around the village, and scanned it with his spiritual sense. It was confirmed that the more than 100 people in Lujiji were all ordinary people, and no monks were found. This made Lin Changqing feel relieved, and then he left the village, and continued to fly forward for a distance to find a hidden place suitable for camping. After setting up the maze array and the spirit gathering array and activating them, he released a purple crystal scorpion. With a thought, they knew where to go. Since the purple crystal scorpion advanced to the late stage, its spirituality has become much stronger. Moreover, after so many times, the purple crystal scorpion has also gained experience, saving Lin Changqing a lot of trouble, which made him very happy. Lin Changqing planned to wait until tomorrow morning to enter the mountain. It was too late today and it was not suitable. Besides, he had to rely on Lu Xinyi to find the way. Now he was immortal and could not see too far at night. He took out some monster meat from the storage bag and cut it into long strips. Then he called Chu Ai and Chuer down and started feeding them. After these days of getting along, Chuer already trusted Lin Changqing very much and could accept Lin Changqing stroking its fur of course. It now also enjoyed the stroking service provided by Lin Changqing. After almost, they were put back into the spirit beast bracelet and let them have a good rest. They would definitely be needed more when they went into the mountain tomorrow. The conditions in the wild were simple. Lin Changqing made himself a pot of green jade tea and tasted it slowly. Now when it was time to drink tea, he would think of Chen Ziya involuntarily. He didn't know what she was doing now, and whether her family had returned to Tongshan village. After a while, the whole pot of spiritual tea was finished. Lin Changqing packed up and prepared to practice the Thunder Sutra before resting. During this period, even if he was in a hurry, Lin Changqing would insist on practicing the Thunder Sutra. Although he did not dare to use up all his energy, the effect of practice was a little worse, but it was also effective. It is estimated that in about 20 days, another Thunder Acupoint can be opened. Lin Changqing has a guess in his mind, but that will have to wait until the 12th Acupoint is opened, and then test it to see if his guess is right. Put these aside first, then sit cross-legged and get into position, and start to practice the Thunder Sutra. After more than 1 or 2 hours, Lin Changqing stopped practicing, retained the last bit of energy, and then went outside the magic circle to clean up his body, and then returned to the magic circle to rest. The next morning, after Lin Changqing had completely practiced, He recovered the 2 magic circles he had set up and recalled all the purple crystal scorpions. After cleaning up, he scanned with his spiritual sense again, and only released Lu Xinyi after there was nothing missing. This time, he reacted quickly, but probably because he didn't get enough rest, his eyes were bloodshot. He also brought out a large bag of things, which must be garbage. Lin Changqing asked him to throw it away by himself, but although Lin Changqing didn't follow him, his consciousness was always following him. If he dared to do something, the purple crystal scorpion wouldn't mind letting him wake up. Fortunately, he knew that he was immortal now and couldn't escape from Lin Changqing, so he came back soon. Lin Changqing didn't want to waste time, so he said directly, "We are now outside Lujieji, about 3 miles southeast. We need you to lead the way." Lu Xinyi did not act immediately, but looked at Lin Changqing and said, "If you get the things in the cave, will you really let me go?" Lin Changqing knew that he had to reassure him now, so he said without hesitation, "You are now a useless person who can't practice, and you haven't even seen my true face. What do I have to be afraid of, and why should I break my promise? I said I would let you go in Lujieji, and I will definitely let you go in Lujieji. Moreover, I have some gold, silver, yellow and white things in my storage bag, which I can give to you at that time, so that you will have no worries about food and clothing from now on. But the premise of letting you go is that you must lead me to find the cave smoothly, and don't play tricks on me. Of course, if you still have any inappropriate ideas, you will definitely be the one who suffers." After listening to what Lin Changqing said, Lu Xinyi nodded, "My danshan is now destroyed, and I can no longer practice. Besides, as a robbery cultivator, I am still alive after failing. I am already very satisfied. So, I don't think about the past anymore. I just want to live an ordinary mortal life, find a woman, have a few children, and live a peaceful life." Lin Changqing looked at him seriously, and said lightly, "I hope it's really the same as you said. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels." Chapter 203 Breaking Through the 7th Layer of Defense. Lin Changqing's words and his attitude gave Lu Xinyi great hope, so he decided to try his best. So he stopped talking and began to observe the terrain nearby, probably to determine their current exact location. Anyway, Lin Changqing didn't care about him. He just released Chu Yi and Chur from the Spirit Beast bracelet and let them stare in the air. At this time, Lu Xinyi also moved and began to move towards the mountain. Lin Changqing followed not far behind him, and his consciousness kept paying attention to him. Following him in the mountains, Lin Changqing remained silent and did not urge him. Fortunately, he was indeed moving deep into the mountains. After about 3 hours, he finally stopped at a rock. Lin Changqing understood that he had arrived at the place, but he couldn't see the cave entrance now. Lu Xinyi took the initiative to say, "We are here, this is the place, the cave entrance is hidden by me, over there, follow me." Lin Changqing nodded, followed him for another few dozen feet, and came to a place where a large area of thorny vines grew. "Is this the place?" Lin Changqing saw him standing still and asked directly. Lu Xinyi nodded and said, "The entrance to the cave is behind this patch of thorny vines. I also used some stones to cover part of the passage and the entrance to prevent people from accidentally breaking in." Since he had found the place, Lin Changqing did not waste any time. He threw a few fireballs and burned a large area of thorny vines. He quickly cleared a large area. A rock wall with piles of rocks was exposed. Lin Changqing directly probed his spiritual sense into it and quickly found the exact location of the cave entrance. There was nothing for Lu Xinyi to do here. So Lin Changqing said to him, "Don't worry. When I get the things in the cave, I will put you in Lujieji. Now you go into the Spirit Beast bracelet first." Lu Xinyi had no choice but to nod. He could only obey Lin Changqing's arrangements now. He put Lu Xinyi directly into the Spirit Beast bracelet. Lin Changqing observed that this place was full of rocks and there was no way to get in with the earth walking technique. Now all he could do was to clean up the pile of rocks at the entrance of the cave. However, Lin Changqing also had a way. He directly found a large storage bag and put the rocks piled at the entrance of the cave into the storage bag. There were too many rocks, so Lin Changqing did not take them all away. He only cleared a passage that was barely wide enough for people to enter. Fortunately, The rocks only blocked the entrance of the cave and part of the passage, so he passed through it quickly and finally entered the cave smoothly. In case of danger or someone sneaking in, Lin Changqing first cast 3 defense talismans on himself. Then he returned and left 24 purple crystal scorpions outside the cave, letting them be invisible and alert. Then he went back inside and carefully observed the layout of the cave. The cave space is not very large. It is small and exquisite, about 5 meters in radius, with 5 doors on the cave wall. 4 of them have been opened, and the remaining one is tightly closed. It should be the one that the 2 brothers Lu Zinai could not open. However, Lin Changqing was not too anxious. Instead, he searched the 4 rooms that were open carefully again and knocked on all the corners. In the end, he found nothing, not even a secret compartment. It seemed that others were not stupid and did not give Lin Changqing a chance to find something. That left the last stone door. Lin Changqing pushed it hard, but the stone door was as stable as a rock and did not react at all. Knowing that ordinary means would definitely not work, he did not waste his efforts. He retreated directly to the passage he came in from, summoned the thunder horn, and then injected the 5 elements of spiritual energy. Soon, with the cooperation of Babe, he generated a Zhengjin God Thunder. Worried that one God Thunder was not powerful enough, Lin Changqing mobilized 3 more acupoints, and the Thunder Spirit inside generated a Zhengjin God Thunder, which was controlled by the Thunder Control technique, but not fired. Then he controlled the 2 God Thunders and blasted them towards the middle of the stone door. After 2 thunderous sounds with very short intervals, the stone door on the cave wall had disappeared. After waiting for a long time, the smoke and dust inside finally dissipated. Lin Changqing walked in carefully to check. He found that there was actually another world inside. The space inside this room was much larger than the outside, at least 20 feet in radius. And in the center, there was a huge and eye-catching magic circle, but the magic circle was not activated, and it was covered with a layer of dust. I don't know what this magic circle is used for. The space was very wide, but there was nothing. Lin Changqing began to search carefully inside, and finally found something at the corner of a corner. To be precise, it should be found on a skeleton, a bright purple halo, and a very thin translucent silk thread tied to a section of black wood. The black wood was about 2 inches long and hung on the neck of the skeleton, like a pendant. This corpse should have valued this thing very much when he was alive. Even the translucent silk thread tied to the black wood should be some kind of silk swallowed by a 3rd-level spiritual silkworm. The purple halo was emitted by the section of black wood. Lin Changqing understood that the purple halo indicated that this section of black wood was something related to the soul. In addition to the current environment, Lin Changqing already had some guesses in his mind. Carefully observing the skeleton, the clothes and other things had weathered away, and the whole skeleton had shriveled up, with only a layer of membrane wrapped around it. It seemed that he had been dead for a very long time. There was no trace of a storage bag on the body and around the corpse. Instead, a round bracelet was found on his left wrist. Lin Changqing guessed that this was most likely a storage bracelet. In addition to these 2 things, there was nothing else. The surroundings were too clean and tidy. However, when he saw the storage bracelet, Lin Changqing was not too excited, and did not approach to take it. Instead, he retreated a distance. He began to carefully search other corners. Lin Changqing was ready to wait until the end to deal with the skeleton and the things on him. Although this space is not small, Lin Changqing's search has also been completed. There are only 2 places worth noting. The first place is the huge magic circle in the center of the entire space. I don't know what it is for, so for safety reasons, Lin Changqing did not step into the range of the magic circle. The second place is the skeleton. There are only 2 dangerous places in this space. Lin Changqing doesn't understand the magic circle, so he ignores it for now, but he has experience in how to deal with skeletons. Standing at a relatively far distance, a series of fireballs bombarded the skeleton, and a low roar of fireballs sounded. The chain of fireballs exploded, blasting the skeleton into pieces and flying in all directions. Suddenly, under the cover of these sound, light and flames, a black light broke through the flames and rushed straight to Lin Changqing's face. Seeing the black light rushing, Lin Changqing was shocked. Although he had already had this idea in his mind, he didn't expect that he would actually encounter it. However, Lin Changqing was well prepared, and the black light naturally couldn't succeed. With a thought, he activated the skills of the Sanbao Spirit Beast bracelet and instantly released a defensive spirit shield covering the whole body. This was the first time that Lin Changqing used the skill of the Spirit Beast bracelet in a fight. The black light penetrated the three outermost layers, the defensive light shield provided by the defensive spirit talisman. Wave, wave, wave. The three layers of defensive light shields were broken in response, and the black light directly hit the newly formed defensive spirit shield, and it only took a breath to break through the spirit shield. Then it directly hit the thunder shield that suddenly appeared on three sides. Ah, ah, ah. Three consecutive soul-shaking screams rang out. It can be heard that these three screams are weaker and weaker, and in the end the black light is only 1/10 of its original size. I thought it was finally gone, but unfortunately, it finally hit the main body of the Sky Thunder Shield. After a weak scream, everything in the cave returned to peace. Chapter 204, Heavenly Soul Shield. Lin Changqing couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. He finally made it through. It was too dangerous just now. It broke through his 7 layers of defense. The last black light was blocked by the body of the Sky Thunder Shield that suddenly appeared, and it crashed into it and died. However, in order to be on the safe side, Lin Changqing used the defense talisman again and put on 3 layers of defense light shield for himself. Although he knew that this was definitely a waste, he couldn't help doing it. After all, there is only one life. No matter how cautious it is not too much. In the world of cultivating immortals, the strong prey on the weak, and the fittest survive, but there is no regret medicine for you. Now that the incident has passed, Lin Changqing felt a wave of fear. The black light was definitely a cultivator's soul. It rushed straight to Lin Changqing's face. This action was also very obvious, just trying to take over his body. Unfortunately, he met Lin Changqing. The defense light shield and the defense spirit shield had a total of 7 layers. There were also 3 layers of instant thunder shields. The black light could not be avoided, and the thunder attribute was too harmful to the spirit body. After a narrow escape, he finally broke through these defense layers. Unexpectedly, a thunder shield with thunder attributes suddenly appeared at the end, and his soul flew away. The soul of the cultivator was also very unlucky. If the 2 brothers Lu Zinai came in, or if other cultivators in the key refining stage came in, the black light would definitely succeed in taking over the body. Unfortunately, his luck was too bad. He met Lin Changqing, which was also his fate. The divine sense scanned the surroundings and easily found the round bracelet and the black wood that were blown away for dozens of meters. He went over to take the round bracelet in his hand and tried to inject spiritual energy into it to make a sacrifice. After more than an hour, he finally made a sacrifice. I don't know why, this time it feels much more difficult to make a sacrifice than the storage bracelet in the secret realm. Fortunately, no matter how difficult it is, it has been made now. The divine sense probed inside and found that the space inside is not small, about 1,000 cubic meters. At first glance, Lin Changqing saw thousands of top-grade spirit stones inside. These things piled together, sparkling and watery, were still very eye-catching. And there was a pile of larger middle-grade spirit stones next to it, and it was estimated that there must be more than 50,000 of them. However, for Lin Changqing, spirit stones were not very important. He would find time to count them when he was free. Then he saw 3 black flying swords, a small black tower, a black shield, and a treasure ship with pavilions and towers, which looked very high-end. Lin Changqing estimated that these items should be magic weapons. With his current cultivation, he could not use them, so Lin Changqing took a rough look at them and did not pay too much attention to them. His main purpose now was to find books or jade slips, which might have records about this place. He also wanted to see if he could find the answer here to let him know what this black wood was. Was it what he guessed? He would decide how to deal with it, of course. Before he knew its function, Lin Changqing would not touch it. However, it is estimated that it is not easy to find the answer. There are more than 300 jade boxes in the storage bracelet, both large and small, and some of them are affixed with high-level soul-sealing talismans. It is estimated that if there are any important books or jade slips, they should be kept in the jade boxes. There are also 26 jade bottles, which are not labeled with any labels or soul-sealing talismans. Lin Changqing had the experience of opening the storage bracelet in the secret realm last time, and he already had a bad feeling in his heart. Sure enough, except for 9 that were empty, the remaining 17 jade bottles were all a pile of black or red substances when opened. This is obviously because it has been too long and all the elixirs have become waste. Lin Changqing had no choice but to comfort himself. Even if there were really some that were intact in appearance, he would definitely not dare to take them. God knows whether they will deteriorate after so long. Next are some clothes and a lot of sundries. These need to be carefully identified. The clothes are nothing, and there may be some more precious things in the sundries. After all, a cultivator who uses magic weapons is at least a cultivator of the Purple Mansion stage. If he can keep something, it should be of some use. Lin Changqing flipped it over and found a jade identity card full of cracks. It seemed that if he pushed it a little harder, it would break into pieces. Lin Changqing gently took it in his hand and saw a black lotus engraved on the front of the jade card, with the 3 words Black Soul Sect in the middle of the lotus. He flipped the jade card again. Anyway, it should be a person's name, Zhao Zihong. He thought, this should be the identity jade card of the black light just now. It was cracked like this, most likely because he extinguished the black light. Of course, this was just Lin Changqing's own guess. After knowing the above content, the jade card was useless, but Lin Changqing still found a jade box and put it away. The next is the jade box. After counting, there are more than 321 in total. It is not known how long it will take to open, but Lin Changqing picked out the 3 jade boxes with high-level soul-sealing talismans. This kind of jade box with a high-level spirit-sealing talisman must have good things in it. Put it aside first and deal with it later. Then, he sorted out a clean place and put out the remaining 318 jade boxes. Afterwards, he opened them one by one. There was no good news, but a lot of bad news. Lin Changqing felt more and more distressed. In addition to the jade boxes that were originally empty, many jade boxes were opened, and they were full of spiritual medicines or spiritual herbs. And it can be seen that they are all high-level spiritual medicines and spiritual plants, but all of them have decayed. If you touch them lightly, they will break into many pieces. In the end, there were very few things in more than 300 jade boxes. The most were spiritual materials for refining tools. There were 15 different types, and they were basically gold or earth spiritual materials. Fortunately, through the spiritual pressure, it can be judged that most of them are 3rd-level existences, and there are 1 or 2 among them, which should be 4th-level spiritual materials. However, Lin Changqing can't use these things now, so he can only sort them and put them away. The good news is that 3 jade slips were also opened. I hope there is the information that Lin Changqing wants to know. Lin Changqing picked one up, put it on his forehead and read it, and soon knew the content inside. This is a high-level earth-level practice method, specializing in the soul, and its name is Purgatory Black Soul Sutra. The 2 words Black Soul reminded Lin Changqing of the black light just now. This Purgatory Black Soul Sutra is a complete series of cultivation, including practice methods, secret techniques, and the refining of supporting magic weapons. Moreover, Lin Changqing already knew that the things he had just seen were indeed magic weapons, and he was not wrong. However, these magic weapons are not good things. There are 3 soul-extracting flying swords and a soul-refining tower. These are also matching. As long as they are killed by the flying sword, the soul will be extracted by the flying sword and finally stored in the soul-refining tower. Only the shield is a serious good thing. It is called the Yushin Soul Protecting Shield, which is a precious 4th-level soul magic weapon. It can be stored in a sea of consciousness after sacrifice and refinement to resist various soul attacks. Most importantly, it can resist the soul-searching technique, soul-controlling technique, and other magic techniques targeting the soul of the highest Yuanying cultivator. But for the divine transformation monk, there is no way. Unless you find at least the 5th-order spiritual material suitable for refining the heavenly soul shield, it is possible to resist the soul-searching and soul-controlling techniques of the divine transformation monk. If there are suitable 6th-order spiritual materials to refine the heavenly soul shield, then you can completely ignore the soul-searching and soul-controlling techniques of the divine transformation monk. However, this technique is really not a good way. The resources for cultivation are actually the souls of mortals or monks. After the mortals or monks are killed, their souls are collected into the soul-refining tower. After being continuously refined in the soul-refining tower, it finally becomes a pure soul liquid, which is used as a resource for the cultivation of the Purgatory Black Soul Sutra. These souls that enter the soul-refining tower are equivalent to the souls flying away, and they will disappear forever without a future. Seeing this, Lin Changqing got goosebumps. It is really too cruel. Anyway, Lin Changqing will definitely not and dare not practice it. In the future, he will not let others know the existence of this technique. Even if necessary, he will destroy this technique jade slip. But there are some good points in it, such as the method of refining the sky-protecting soul shield, and the practice and use of the two secret arts of soul searching and soul controlling. Lin Changqing didn't want to touch the rest, but he never dared to forget how his innate merit true I came from. Chapter 205, Monks from the Outside World. Lin Changqing picked up the second jade slip and put it on his forehead to read. The content of this jade slip was not much, and he finished reading it in a short while. The main content inside was a simple map, a list of names of towns, and some strange contact information. There were only contact information, but no contact person, a total of 25 items, which made Lin Changqing feel very much like a secret organization that was not visible to the public. However, these were not the main points. The main point was the names of the towns on the list. He had never heard of any of them, and he immediately had a guess in his mind. So in order to verify this guess, Lin Changqing picked up the map jade slip that his grandfather gave him and carefully searched and compared it. He really didn't find the names of these 25 towns on his own map jade slip, not even one of them was the same. Compared with this simple map, it didn't match even more. Now the only explanation is that this cultivator is not from any force within the scope of the six sects of Qinggyan, and is most likely an outside cultivator. This aroused Lin Changqing's great interest. In fact, through the map jade slip that his grandfather gave him, he already knew the geographical environment of the six sects of Qinggyan. Northeast, east, and southeast of the six sects are the endless Qinggyan mountains. This places the territory of monsters, among which there are still many 5th-level monsters, and there are probably 6th-level monsters. The south and west are surrounded by the endless sea of monsters, and the north is a very vast grassland. The 50 acres of alfalfa planted in Lin Changqing's inner space came from the northern grassland, but that place is no longer the sphere of influence of the six sects of Qinggyan. It is ruled by another force, and the Xiangxing sword sect borders that force. Now Lin Changqing is wondering whether this cultivator came from the grassland or other more distant areas, and how he got here? Then he picked up the third jade slip and read it directly on his forehead. There are more contents in this jade slip, which also answered some of Lin Changqing's questions. The front part of this jade slip records Zhao Zihan's experience of cultivation from the key refining stage to the great perfection of the Purple Mansion. It also includes some problems encountered and the solutions later, which are still of some reference value to Lin Changqing, but this is not the point. The latter part is similar to self-narration. The main content is that the sect to which Zhao Zihan belongs, the Black Soul sect, is one of the top sects in the Qixuan continent. There is a true lord of transformation in the sect, dozens of true lords of nascent soul, and countless true lords of golden color. The territory ruled by the power is extremely vast, but because of the reason of the practice, it has always regarded the mortals under its rule as cattle and sheep, and regarded the souls of other sects as resources for practice. The change in the situation is because a true lord of golden core of the Black Soul sect refined the great-great-grandson of a true lord of transformation in the Hunyuan sect into soul liquid, which eventually became the last straw for the destruction of the Black Soul sect. It triggered the joint siege of the Black Soul sect by various sects in the Qixuan continent, which eventually led to the destruction and expulsion of the Black Soul sect, and all the Black Soul sect's practice methods were banned, and some were even destroyed on the spot. From a top force to a rat crossing the street, the disciples under the sect were hunted down by various sects. When the tree fell, the monkeys scattered, and the disciples of the Black Soul sect fled in all directions. Some simply changed their cultivation methods and changed their appearances, some stayed in their homes, and some even tried to escape to other continents. Zhao Zihan was being hunted down, but later, by chance, he entered a dangerous place to hide, and found a huge magic array in a secret place. Zhao Zihan recognized that this was a long-distance teleportation array. He suddenly had an idea and installed a top-grade spirit stone without thinking too much, then directly activated the teleportation and left, intending to use this long-distance teleportation array to get rid of the pursuit of his enemies. Unexpectedly, this teleportation basically took his life, because this huge magic array was indeed a teleportation array, but it was a super long-distance teleportation array across continents, and Zhao Zihan did not have a special long-distance teleportation token to protect him. During the teleportation process, he was injured by space compression, and the two defensive magic weapons on his body were also damaged during the teleportation process, otherwise he would not have been able to hold on until the end of the teleportation. But after arriving here, he was already seriously injured, and it was a rare space attribute injury. He consumed all the elixirs on his body to treat internal and external injuries, but there was no improvement. In the end, he could only be unwilling to give up and leave a rough record. Not long after, his injuries broke out completely and he passed away next to the cross-continental teleportation array. The jade slip contained roughly these contents. As for what the black wood was, there was no record at all, which made Lin Changqing a little disappointed. Maybe this was also a secret, just like Lin Changqing's secret, and it would not be recorded in any form. In fact, after looking at the contents of this storage bracelet, Lin Changqing himself had already made a bold guess. Zhao Zihan had obviously been in this place for a long time. From the fact that all the spiritual medicines in the jade box had rotted and the pills had turned into dregs, it can be inferred that he had been dead for a long time. In theory, the soul should return to reincarnation, but the black light just now, although it did not speak, made several screams, proving that it was the soul of a cultivator. Therefore, the biggest possibility is that the black light is Zhao Zihan's soul, and that black wood can protect Zhao Zihan's soul from extinction and can also penetrate Lin Changqing's 7 layers of defense. This proves that the black wood has the effect of nourishing and protecting the soul. It is very likely that it is the soul-nourishing wood, one of the 3 famous sacred trees in the world of immortal cultivation. The colors do match, but why does it look quite thin, just a little thicker than chopsticks? Thinking of this, Lin Changqing was already a little impatient, but just in case, he still didn't touch the black wood himself. Instead, he released a purple crystal scorpion from the spirit beast bracelet and let it go over and pick up the black wood first. Then after a while, after seeing that the purple crystal scorpion was still alive and well, Lin Changqing was ready to take the black wood in his hand to study it. Suddenly, he thought of this thing that someone else had worn, and it had been hanging on the corpse for so long. Lin Changqing couldn't help but cast the water ball technique many times. After washing it 7 or 8 times in total, it felt clean. He took it in his hand and looked at it carefully. The whole black and heavy, then carefully brought it to his nose and smelled it. Fortunately, there was no smell. It was only about 2 inches long, slightly thicker than chopsticks, and tied with a piece of translucent silk. To be honest, I didn't feel anything special when I held it in my hand, so Lin Changqing decided to try it on his neck. He did it as he thought. After wearing it close to his body, Lin Changqing found a clean place to sit down, concentrated his mind and felt it carefully. Sure enough, there was an extremely weak purple energy that was transmitted to the sea of consciousness and absorbed by the soul. But this energy was so weak that if you didn't observe it carefully, you might have overlooked it. But although it was extremely weak, it was continuous. There might be no change in 1 or 2 months, but in 3 or 5 years, it would definitely accumulate into a lot, which can be regarded as moistening things silently, and the soul would become stronger unconsciously. But Lin Changqing didn't think of this. Lin Changqing had the earth soul fruit, which was a magical medicine for strengthening the soul, but he didn't think much of it. Lin Changqing had already thought of how to use this section of blackwood. It is to be worn by the newly born children at home, to slowly nourish and strengthen their spirits, so that if they have spiritual roots to practice in the future, they will be one step ahead of others. However, before having children, you should carry this thing with you. Maybe after a long time, you can discover other secrets of this section of blackwood. And even now, Lin Changqing is not sure that this section of blackwood is the soul-nourishing wood, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, the thing is already in hand, and there will always be a time to figure it out in the future. Chapter 206, Lin Changliu, 50-60 feet long. After looking at all the other things, there were only 3 jade boxes with high-level soul-sealing talismans on them. This was the thing that Lin Changqing valued the most. He wondered what good things would come out of these 3 boxes. He chose the largest jade box and weighed it. It felt quite heavy. He input some spiritual energy and took off the soul-sealing talisman. When he opened it, he saw a box of black soil. There was a bulge in the middle of the soil, which turned out to be a small tree stump. Seeing this, Lin Changqing's heart moved. He took down the black wood hanging around his neck and compared it with the small tree stump. He found that the two really fit together perfectly. They should have been one piece, but later the trunk was cut off and used as a pendant, leaving a tree stump, which was transplanted into this jade box. I can only say that Zhao Zihan is really thoughtful. He used the jade box as a flower pot, and he could also put it in a storage bag to carry it with him. It was safe and convenient. After thinking about this thing, Lin Changqing knew how to deal with it. When we enter the inner space and transplant them inside, we will let Liu Yaoqiang take care of them. Then he opened the second jade box, and there were 3 spirit stones inside, 3 top-grade spirit stones. Although Lin Changqing had come into contact with many top-grade spirit stones, this was the first time he had seen a top-grade spirit stone. He couldn't help but take one out to play with it, and felt the huge and surging spiritual energy contained in it. It was worthy of being equivalent to 100 top-grade spirit stones. After playing with it for a while, he put it back and pasted the spirit sealing talisman. To be honest, although he had obtained 3 top-grade spirit stones, Lin Changqing was not very happy. After all, he still had a lot of spirit stones. He still had 3 top-grade spirit stones in his hand. There was really no shortage of spirit stones. If there were hundreds of top-grade spirit stones in this jade box, he would be happy. Now there were only 3, so he just looked at them for fun, which was considered a little bit of knowledge. Now he hoped that the last jade box would bring him a little surprise. After removing the soul-sealing talisman, he opened the last jade box directly. What came into view was actually a jade bottle with another soul-sealing talisman on it. This was a bit strange. Lin Changqing couldn't help but take out the bottle, shook it gently, and immediately felt that there was some liquid inside. After thinking about it, he decided to open it and take a look. He removed the talisman and unscrewed the mouth of the bottle. Immediately, a purple mist floated out and soon dissipated in the air. Lin Changqing's soul immediately felt a sense of comfort. However, Lin Changqing reacted instantly and immediately knew what was in the bottle. He couldn't help but shudder. This was half a bottle of soul liquid. I don't know how many souls of mortals or monks are needed to extract this half bottle of liquid. Lin Changqing almost threw it away just now, but he thought about it and held back. Anyway, the sin was caused by Zhao Zihan, not him, Lin Changqing. But he certainly didn't dare to use it himself. Although it was not his sin, if he dared to use it, he would definitely be more or less stained with some cause and effect, so he should give it to Lin Changlu. It is a true spiritual root of heaven and earth, and it is not afraid of these small causes and effects. I quickly screwed the lid back, and there was no need to stick the sealing talisman, because it would be used later. Overall, I was not very satisfied with the harvest this time. If others had opened these things, they might have been ecstatic. However, in Lin Changqing's opinion, it was just like that. I sorted and put away everything on the ground, including hundreds of empty jade boxes. I didn't let them go. Frugality is a virtue. Besides, it would be a waste to leave them here, and it would also expose some information. The only thing left is this, the intercontinental long-distance teleportation array. Standing outside the teleportation array and observing, I didn't see anything else, but I saw that there were 108 positions on it for placing spirit stones. Judging from the size, it should be necessary to place high-grade spirit stones. The medium-grade spirit stones are not of this specification. It takes 108 high-grade spirit stones to teleport once, which is 1.08 million low-grade spirit stones. This is not something that ordinary Purple Mansion period can afford. It seems that Zhao Zihan's status in the Black Soul sect should not be simple. Since it was confirmed that the magic array would not be activated casually, Lin Changqing went up and cleaned up the dust on the magic array. Of course, he also checked to see if there were any obvious signs of damage. He was afraid that Zhao Zihan would be chased by his enemies after being teleported here, so he deliberately destroyed this ultra-long-distance teleportation array. Fortunately, the result was not bad, and the teleportation array was intact, so he was relieved. In fact, after he learned from the Jade Slit that this was a cross-continental long-distance teleportation array, he already had some ideas in his mind. Of course, the premise must be that this teleportation array can still be used normally. After considering it, he took out 108 high-quality spirit stones and placed them on it. Of course, the last high-quality spirit stone was placed by the purple crystal scorpion, and Lin Changqing had already walked out of the range of the magic array. When the last high-quality spirit stone was placed, the array pattern on the large array immediately flashed with light, and then calmed down again. Lin Changqing knew that this was the energy replenishment of the formation, and the spiritual energy automatically spread throughout the formation. It was also a way to detect whether there was any problem with the formation. This was a skill learned from Chen Ziya. After getting the result and confirming that the teleportation formation could be started normally, Lin Changqing asked the purple crystal scorpion to get all the high-grade spiritual stones back and put them back into the storage bag. The purple crystal scorpion who helped also took back the spiritual beast bracelet. Then, with a thought, he summoned Lin Changqing. Soon after, a ripple in the space, a huge willow tree with lush branches and leaves, which required at least one person to hug, appeared in front of Lin Changqing, and the branches swayed gently. Lin Changqing was stunned and stood there. Lin Changqing's proud mood soon came to his heart. Lin Changqing reacted and confirmed that this was Lin Changqing's body. After thinking about it, he felt that this was normal. You have to know that when he saw the mother tree of the void sky willow, it was a huge and boundless existence. One tree occupied the sky above the entire galaxy. At that time, Lin Changqing was shocked. Even his thoughts stopped. Now Lin Changqing was still a little bit behind its mother, but this time Lin Changqing was also surprised. The main reason is that it has been too long since I have seen Lin Changqing's real body. Usually, I would not summon its real body. It has been too long since I last saw it. This change is really too big. From a small thing, it suddenly grew to a height of 50 or 60 feet with lush branches and leaves. Fortunately, Lin Changqing has also digested this information. This time he summoned Lin Changqing to ask it to help leave a space mark here. He conveyed the meaning to Lin Changqing and soon got its reply. After a while, I saw a constantly changing light spot on a branch of Lin Changqing, which slowly grew larger. When it was almost as big as Lin Changqing's fist, it automatically fell off the branch, fell to the ground, and then disappeared. Then, the meaning of the mark came to Lin Changqing's heart. Suddenly, he had an idea and asked Lin Changqing in his heart. If Lin Changqing took the cross-continental long-distance transmission array without the protection of the space token, could it withstand it? Will it get hurt? As a result, it was severely discriminated by Lin Changqing, but in the end it still told Lin Changqing that it was a space creature with a very high resistance to space damage and was not afraid of space compression damage at all. Space shuttle requires direct facing of space compression. This is its innate skill. How could it be hurt by space compression, let alone injured? After getting this information, Lin Changqing was ecstatic. Finally, he had another super trump card. If he encountered something that he couldn't solve in the future, he could also go to Kixuan continent to develop, and come back when he was stronger and his cultivation level was higher. Anyway, Lin Changqing now had another way out. Chapter 207 Thunder Needle. After sending Lin Changqing back to the void, Lin Changqing began to think about how to deal with the aftermath, and the most important thing was how to ensure that this place would not be discovered by others. After thinking about it, he felt that he needed to go to Wanbao Pavilion and buy some mud to stone charms. Fill the passage from the outside with mud, and then use the mud to stone charm to turn the passage back into rock. Cover it with some thorns and vines outside, and the risk of being discovered by others can be greatly reduced. However, this will have to wait until the mud to stone charm is purchased before doing so. Now just fill the passage with stones. Fortunately, in order to facilitate entering the cave, the stones were directly stored in the storage bag and have not been thrown away. Just fill it back directly, and there is no need to look for stones everywhere. As for the outside, just try to restore it to its original state. Fortunately, Lin Changqing is a spiritual plant master, which is more adept at this. Transplanted a few thorny vines near the entrance of the cave, and then cast the spiritual rain technique and the birth-inducing technique, and they soon flourished. After doing all this, Lin Changqing used his spiritual sense to scan several times, and after confirming that there were no obvious traces left, he flew to Lujieji on his sword. It took several hours to enter the mountain, and it took only about a quarter of an hour to fly back. They arrived above Lujieji. Lin Changqing deliberately raised the altitude a little, about 150 feet. Then he took Lu Zinai out of the spirit beast bracelet. When he just came out, seeing that he was in the sky, Lu Zinai's face changed drastically, and he asked nervously, "We are still in the sky? Why did you pull me out?" Lin Changqing did not speak, but took out a bag of gold, silver, yellow and white things from the storage bag and handed it to Lu Zinai. Then he said, "There are only mortals below, so I won't go down. This is what I promised you, take it yourself, and below is Lujieji. I will keep my word. If I say I will release you in Lujieji, I will definitely release you in Lujieji." After saying that, Lin Changqing let go, and Lu Zinai screamed ah, and danced with joy to catch something. Unfortunately, he was in the air and didn't catch anything. Instead, He threw away the bag of yellow and white things that Lin Changqing gave him, and the things flew everywhere. Bang! In the end, he came naked and left with nothing in his hands. Alice. Lin Changqing flew down again to confirm it, and couldn't help shaking his head. Lu Xinai's landing posture was not elegant enough, which really affected the environment. In order not to scare the villagers of Lujiaji, Lin Changqing took the lead and released a few fireballs before the villagers came to check, helping Lu Xinai clean up. If he was still there, he would definitely be grateful to Lin Changqing. As for the bag of yellow and white things he threw away, they had already been scattered everywhere, so Lin Changqing would not help him pick them up. He would leave them here for the villagers. Just think of it as Lu Xinai giving back to his hometown where he was born and raised. So far, the matter of Baishan County was over, and then Lin Changqing flew away on his sword and flew to Qian Mansion. Lin Changqing looked at the map and roughly estimated that it would take about 4 or 5 days to fly to Qian Mansion. He had already flown to Fengtai County and Baishan County for 7 or 8 days in a row. Adding these 4 or 5 days, it would be almost 10 days and half a month. So Lin Changqing decided that this time when he arrived at Qian Mansion, after going to Wanbao Pavilion to book a passenger ship, he would definitely find a hotel to have a good rest. At most, he would go out less at that time to avoid meeting people from the Qi family. Just like that, 5 days later, a sword light fell at the entrance of Qianfeng City, about a mile away. It was Lin Changqing who had been flying for several days. He recalled Chui and Shuer, who were cruising overhead, to the spirit beast bag, and then went to the entrance of the market town. He spent 2 spirit stones and made a new pass. After all, the hidden spirit mask he was wearing now was Zhang Dejin's face. He entered the market town smoothly without wasting time and went straight to Wanbao Pavilion. When he stepped in, he saw Xiaodu. Unfortunately, it was not Xiaodu's turn to receive guests this time. Lin Changqing had changed his face now, so it was not convenient to find him. When Li and Chen Zai return, he will come here to thank him. Lin Changqing will never forget those who have helped him. Last time, Lin Changqing wanted to give him 100-year-old Zhu fruit. After all, Xiaodu is only at the 4th level of Qi refining now, so it is most appropriate to give him a Zhu fruit. As soon as he stepped into Wanbao Pavilion, a guy who was about 15 or 16 years old and looked younger than Lin Changqing came up to greet him. "Hello, guest. Welcome to Wanbao Pavilion. I am your shopping guide this time. You can just call me Xiao Chen." Lin Changqing nodded, deliberately lowered his voice, and then said, "I want to buy some spiritual objects." Xiao Chen nodded quickly and said, "Okay, guest, please go to the 2nd floor, this way." Then he hurriedly led the way in front. Then he led Lin Changqing to a small private room and sat him down. A maid immediately served a cup of spiritual tea. Lin Changqing nodded to her to express his gratitude. After Lin Changqing tasted the spiritual tea, Xiao Chen asked, "What spiritual objects do you need, guest?" "I will try my best to find them for you," Lin Changqing said directly. "I need some thunder attribute spiritual tools, or thunder attribute spiritual materials of level 2 or above. If you have any suitable ones, please bring them here and let me see them." Xiao Chen was stunned for a moment, but he reacted immediately. Although it was a bit beyond his expectations, after all, this was the guest's request, and he would try his best to meet it. He immediately answered, "Yes, please wait a moment, sir. I'll go prepare it and come back in a while." Lin Changqing nodded, and Xiao Chen bowed slightly before going down to prepare the spiritual objects that Lin Changqing needed. After waiting for a while, when the maid gave Lin Changqing another cup of spiritual tea, Xiao Chen finally came back with a large tray in his hand. As soon as Xiao Chen sat down, he said, "I'm sorry to have kept you waiting." Lin Changqing said lightly, "It's nothing. Please introduce the things you brought first." "These are what I'm interested in." Xiao Chen smiled, nodded, picked up a green jade pendant, and introduced, "This first spiritual weapon is the 2nd level medium-grade spiritual weapon Kingla Ipai. The main material is a section of 2nd level medium-grade lightning-struck wood heart. After it is refined and worn on the body, you only need to think about it to summon a green thunder shield. However, after using it, it will take some time to automatically recover. Basically, it will recover in about 10 days. If it is placed in a place with abundant thunder spiritual energy, this time can be further shortened. Of course, if you input thunder spiritual energy, you can also achieve this effect. It costs 5,200 spirit stones to buy the second-level medium-grade Kingla Ipai spiritual weapon. Lin Changqing nodded. He liked this kind of spiritual weapon. He said directly, I want this Kingla Ipai. Please continue to introduce it. After hearing this, Xiao Chen was overjoyed and introduced it more vigorously. He picked up a small box, opened it and showed it to Lin Changqing, and then began to introduce. This is a set of 7 Thunder Golden Needles. Each individual Thunder Golden Needle can only be regarded as a second-level low-grade spiritual weapon. But when used in combination, the power is also top-level among the second-level middle-grade spiritual weapons, and can even barely match the second-level upper-grade spiritual weapons. However, controlling 7 Thunder Golden Needles at a time requires a relatively strong spiritual consciousness. To buy the set of 7 Thunder Golden Needles, you need 14,000 spiritual stones. After saying that, he also looked at Lin Changqing on purpose. Lin Changqing was also stunned for a moment. He didn't expect a set of second-level middle-grade spiritual weapons to be so expensive. However, he understood it after a little thought. Wanbao Pavilion disassembled this set of spiritual weapons and calculated each Thunder Golden Needle as an independent second-level low-grade spiritual weapon, 2,000 spiritual stones each. Wanbao Pavilion is indeed the ancestor of buying and selling. It is really shrewd. However, even if he figured it out, Lin Changqing had to buy it. 7 golden thunder needles can suppress 7 thunder acupoints. Of course, if there are more spiritual tools or objects with thunder attributes in the future, you can also concentrate the 7 golden thunder needles into 1 acupoint. Chapter 208 Meteorite Iron. He said to Xiao Chen, I've learned a lot. I want this set of spiritual tools. Do you have any other thunder attribute spiritual tools? Xiao Chen was so happy to hear that Lin Changqing decided to buy the set of spiritual tools again, and quickly replied, there is also a second-level low-grade Benlai sword among the thunder attribute spiritual tools. This flying sword is very fast, at least 30% faster than the flying swords of the same level, and it is the first choice for monks who like to use swords. Lin Changqing waved his hand and said, forget about this Benlai sword, I already have it. Xiao Chen could only nod regretfully, and then began to introduce the thunder attribute spiritual materials. Picking up a round bead, he said, this is the inner pill of a second-level late thunderbird, suitable for alchemy or refining. If you want to refine a tool, you can consider refining it into a spiritual tool such as the Thunder Spirit Pearl, which has a higher success rate. To buy the second-level late inner pill, you need 3,500 spirit stones. Lin Changqing shook his head, indicating that he was not interested in the inner pill of this thunderbird. Xiao Chen was a little disappointed, and then he continued to pick up a piece of refined iron as big as a palm, with faint flashes of lightning on it. He showed this spiritual material to Lin Changqing specifically, and then began to introduce it. Dear guest, this is a second-grade medium-quality lightning-struck iron. Lin Changqing was a little surprised and asked, I have heard of lightning-struck wood, but how come there is lightning-struck iron? Xiao Chen smiled and explained, since there is lightning-struck wood, there can naturally be lightning-struck iron. Anyway, they are all formed after being struck by lightning. The spiritual wood may be struck by lightning several times, and after surviving by chance, it has an additional lightning attribute. This kind of lightning-struck iron is to put the metal spiritual material that attracts lightning strikes into an area where lightning often appears. Over time, the metal spiritual material is struck by lightning more and more, and the structure inside changes, and it also has an additional lightning attribute. This spiritual material was previously refined from iron stone that fell from outer space. It was a second-grade medium-quality meteorite iron, but now it has an additional thunder attribute, so it should be called meteorite thunder iron. It costs 2,500 spirit stones to buy the second-grade medium-quality meteorite thunder iron. Lin Changqing thought about it and decided to buy this meteorite thunder iron. He might need it in the future. So he said, okay, I'll take this piece of meteorite iron too. Please calculate how many spiritual stones it costs in total. Xiao Chen was overjoyed when he heard what Lin Changqing said, and he quickly calculated. Then he said respectfully, dear guest, 2 spiritual tools plus a second-level spiritual material cost a total of 22,300 spiritual stones. Do you have a Wanbao Pavilion VIP card? I'll register it for you. Lin Changqing nodded and said, I've spent so many spiritual stones in your Wanbao Pavilion. You should give me a boarding pass to Jianzhou Prefecture. Is this request not too much? Xiao Chen was embarrassed when he heard it, and finally had no choice but to say, Then let me ask the shopkeeper for instructions, and then I'll get back to you." Lin Changqing waved his hand, signaling him to go quickly. Not long after, Xiao Chen came back with a smile on his face. Looking at his appearance, Lin Changqing knew that the matter had been settled, and the shopkeeper must have agreed. As expected, Xiao Chen said, "Dear guest, the shopkeeper has agreed. It just so happens that the passenger ship arrived at the landing field outside the city last night. It will depart for Jinzhou Prefecture at noon tomorrow. This is a certificate with the character Jia." After that, he respectfully handed a jade plate to Lin Changqing. Lin Changqing took it and saw that it was engraved with Jia 12. He nodded. Then he took out 22,300 spirit stones and his VIP card from his storage bag. Xiao Chen took it respectfully and used the secret method to register the amount of spirit stones consumed this time. However, Xiao Chen had just used the secret method and saw that the amount on it, plus the amount of consumption this time, had reached the standard for promotion to the second-level VIP card, and he couldn't help but exclaim, "Huh?" Lin Changqing thought there was something wrong and asked, "Is there anything wrong with my VIP card?" Xiao Chen quickly explained, No, the amount of money spent on your VIP card has reached the standard for promotion to a second-level VIP card. I was about to report it to the shopkeeper and change it to a second-level VIP card for you." Lin Changqing suddenly realized that it was true, and he had forgotten about the VIP card system of Wanbao Pavilion. If you count it up, the amount of spiritual stones he spent at Wanbao Pavilion is not small, and the total should be about the same. The VIP card should be upgraded. Lin Changqing nodded. "Is that so? I forgot about it. Thank you for your help." Then Xiao Chen took Lin Changqing's VIP card and ran out. He should have gone to find the shopkeeper of Wanbao Pavilion to change it to a second-level VIP card for Lin Changqing. This time, Xiao Chen didn't wait long before he sent it back. A new second-level VIP card was refined by Lin Changqing's blood, and then the amount of spiritual stones consumed was recorded on it using a secret method. After doing all this, Lin Changqing put all his things back into the storage bag, and then declined Xiao Chen's offer, asking him not to send him off, as he didn't want to attract attention. Then he left Wanbao Pavilion alone, low-key, and walked towards the Pingan Hotel where he stayed last time. This name left the deepest impression on Lin Changqing. After confirming that no one was following him, he came to the hotel and registered a room with a newly issued access certificate. After the shop assistant who led the way left, Lin Changqing activated the ban on the door and breathed a sigh of relief. He was ready to take a good rest. After more than 10 days of long-term flying, coupled with the fact that he had been sleeping in the open air, even with the physique of a cultivator, he was a little tired. He was originally planning to take a good rest for a few days in Qianfang City, but he didn't expect to get the boarding pass for tomorrow, so it was just right to transfer to the passenger ship to rest. This also met Lin Changqing's wishes, and he didn't have to stay under the eyes of the Qi family. As usual, he began to use his spiritual sense to carefully check the room twice, then arranged the maze array, and then directly activated the array. Lin Changqing decided to use this time to refine the newly bought Qinglai pendant, and then use the Nabaoju to replace the Liling Pearl in the 7th leading acupoint with a Qinglai pendant. In the future, Lin Changqing will have another layer of protection. This time, Zhao Ziheng's spirit broke through Lin Changqing's 7 layers of defense. That scene was really impressive. Therefore, he decided to get more defensive spiritual tools or defensive magic weapons when he had the chance in the future. After all, he only had one life, so he couldn't be too cautious. It took 2 or 3 hours, and when Lin Changqing finally got everything done, it was already night. Because he was a little tired after more than 10 days of eating and sleeping in the open, he decided to practice the Thunder Sutra in advance today and rest early. Sitting cross-legged and arranging his posture, he practiced the exercises. All kinds of familiar feelings came to Lin Changqing again, and soon a pool of sweat gathered under his body. After 2 hours, Lin Changqing finally used up all his energy. After cleaning his body outside, he came back and lay down to rest. However, maybe it was still a little early and he was not used to it, so his mind became clearer. Actually, Lin Changqing had several problems to deal with now. The first one was that he had to completely hide the intercontinental teleportation array near Lujiaji. This was very important to Lin Changqing. In the future, he would mainly rely on this teleportation array to travel to other continents. he would definitely be reluctant to spend millions of spirit stones at Wanbao Pavilion to obtain the qualification to borrow the intercontinental teleportation array. It would be better to throw these spirit stones into the deep pit for Lin Changqing to absorb and digest, and it would also increase the area of the inner space. Originally, he planned to buy some mud to stone talismans directly at Wanbao Pavilion in Qian Market, but later he thought it would be safer to buy them somewhere else. Therefore, he would wait until Lin Changqing returned to Jianzhou Market to buy them. I believe that with such a short time, it would not be such a coincidence that someone would just discover that place. The second problem is that Lin Changqing has not yet proposed to Chen Ziyi's parents, and his own elders are not around, so he doesn't know who to ask for help on his behalf. The third problem is that Lin Changqing's cultivation has already reached the great perfection of key refining, and he only needs to polish his spiritual energy for another year or so before he can consider the issue of building a foundation. But the problem is that he has 5 spiritual roots, and he has successfully built a foundation before he is 20 years old. Isn't it too high profile and completely inconsistent with his usual code of conduct? So he is considering whether to go out and wander around for a few years before coming back. At that time, he will say that he has been out there, got some opportunities, and succeeded in building a foundation by luck, so he came back. Lying down and thinking about this and that, he fell into deep sleep unknowingly. Chapter 209, News of the Unexpected Harvest of Tricolor Deer. The next morning, Lin Changqing got up early and finished practicing the 5 Elements Chaos Sutra. Seeing that it was still early, he fed all the spirit pets again, especially the first and second pets, who had worked hard with Lin Changqing for more than 10 days, so he focused on taking care of them. After finishing all this, it was almost time, so he took back the small 5-element maze array set up in the room. Then he asked the hotel owner to return a little of the deposit, and left the market to fly to the passenger ship landing field. Lin had been to this place 2 or 3 times, so he was familiar with it. However, for safety reasons, Lin Changqing still put the first and second pets out. Fortunately, the road was calm and nothing happened, and he arrived at the passenger ship landing field smoothly. There were already dozens or hundreds of people waiting around the landing field, in groups of 3 or 2, and of course there were also people like Lin Changqing, who were alone. However, Lin Changqing had experienced it many times, and it was no longer new to see it. He found a corner with few people and stood there. Then he called back Chui and Chuer and put them into the spirit beast bag. Usually in public, he would use the spirit beast bag so as not to be too conspicuous. He looked at the sky and estimated that it would be about time to board the ship in another quarter of an hour or 2. Unexpectedly, someone came towards Lin Changqing at this time. Lin Changqing immediately became alert and stared at the approaching middle-aged monk, wanting to see what he was up to. The man also saw Lin Changqing's vigilance and knew that he was indeed a bit presumptuous, so he stopped a little further away. Then he took the initiative to say, "My fellow Taoist, you don't have to be too nervous. I have no ill intentions. My last name is Zhang Jiahao. The 4 of us have formed a monster hunting team. We have a little reputation in the casual cultivation circle of Qianfeng City. You can ask about it when you have time. It's like this. I saw that you have 2 golden winged birds, which are very suitable for detecting and finding specific targets. So I want to invite you to join our hunting team. In the future, you can get 30% of the harvest from the team's monster hunting." After hearing this, Lin Changqing realized that it was because of this reason and was slightly relieved. But he still shook his head and refused directly. "Sorry, I went out this time because I had something to do and didn't plan to join the monster hunting team. You can try to find someone else." Zhang Jiahao was a little disappointed, but he still knew that the possibility of success was very small if he came up and pulled people like this. It was just that it was rare to see the right person, so he couldn't help but come directly over. After thinking for a while, he lowered his voice and said again, "Then, fellow Taoist, are you interested in cooperating once? If this time is successful, I guarantee that you will earn at least 20,000 spiritual stones." Lin Changqing was alert again. He came here for no reason and said that he would earn 20,000 spiritual stones for cooperation. No matter how you look at it, there is something wrong. So he refused again without hesitation. "I have already said that I am not interested in hunting monsters. You can go. There is no need to waste time here." Zhang Jiahao had no choice but to make a final effort and said, "I know you don't believe me, but I really have no ill intentions." This time someone found the traces of several 3-color deer. Because you have 2 golden winged birds, there is a great possibility of finding them, so I want to cooperate with you once." Lin Changqing was shocked when he heard what Zhang Jiahao said. He knew the 3 color deer very well. They were simply super good employees in the world of cultivation. No matter how many came, Lin Changqing would never think it was too much. Moreover, they were very easy to feed. They only needed to eat grass and occasionally feed some spiritual pills. The resources consumed were very small, and the main thing was that Lin Changqing could afford to feed them. In addition, the inner space has suddenly become so much larger, and more 3-color deer are indeed needed to work for Lin Changqing. Then Lin Changqing asked, "Where did the 3-color deer you mentioned appear?" Zhang Jiahao saw that Lin Changqing was finally a little interested, and quickly replied, "In Jianzhou Prefecture, the specific location. I want you to join us. Or confirm to cooperate with us, and we can tell you after we have a certain guarantee." Lin Changqing nodded. A person like Zhang Jiahao who can pull together a demon hunting team must not be stupid. He will not take away important information from others in a few words. Just as he was about to ask him how to cooperate, unexpectedly, the sound transmission array on the passenger ship began to send a sound, notifying the guests to start boarding. Lin Changqing was a certificate of Jia, and he belonged to the first batch. So he could only say, "I am in room A12. If you are interested, you can come and talk in detail after the passenger ship officially sets sail." Zhang Jiahao was overjoyed and quickly agreed. Then Lin Changqing boarded the ship smoothly with a certificate in hand. He was already familiar with the layout of the passenger ship and soon found the location of room A12. He activated the bell on the door with the boarding certificate, and the layout of the room remained the same as before, without any changes. However, Zhang Jiahao would come over in a while, so Lin Changqing had to hurry up and check twice with his spiritual sense to see if there was anything wrong with the room. Fortunately, after the inspection, he did not find anything wrong. After thinking about it, he decided to set up the small 5-element maze formation, although theoretically no one would dare to do it on the passenger ship. However, just in case, he released another 24 purple crystal scorpions and let them hide around Lin Changqing to prevent any emergencies. After finishing all this, Lin Changqing had already felt that the passenger ship was increasing in altitude, and then it quickly accelerated and set sail. Lin Changqing began to organize the tea set, preparing to wait for Zhang Jiahao to come over and make tea for the guests, but he would not use the second-level green jade tea, but ordinary spiritual tea, which he also found in the spoils. Normally, he would not drink this kind of ordinary spiritual tea, but this time it was just right to entertain Zhang Jiahao, a cultivator he had just met. Soon, the restriction on the door was triggered, and Lin Changqing got up and opened the door. It was Zhang Jiahao who came to the door. He came faster than Lin Changqing expected, and he was not alone, but brought another middle-aged female cultivator with him. Lin Changqing frowned, but still opened the door and let them in. The 3 of them sat down as host and guest, and Zhang Jiahao apologized first. "I'm sorry, fellow Taoist, I brought people here without your consent. The main reason is that although I am the captain of the demon hunting team, I have never been good at speaking. This cooperation is particularly important to us and cannot be lost. So I think it's better to let my Taoist partner speak, so that it will be clearer." Lin Changqing was also very helpless, but since people were here, he couldn't just drive them away. So he could only say, "It's okay, you are a guest here. Just treat it as a boring journey, let's chat together." After hearing Lin Changqing's words, Zhang Jiahao's Taoist partner also laughed and said, "This Taoist friend looks quite generous. You can tell at a glance that he must be from an extraordinary family. If someone else came uninvited, they might be turned away. It's good that the Taoist friend is broad-minded and tolerant. I am Li Xiangjun, and I look a few years older than you. You can call me Junji in the future. I wonder what you should call me." Lin Changqing couldn't help but nod his head after hearing this. Sure enough, he was much better at talking than Zhang Jiahao, which made people feel good about him. "My younger brother Zhang Dejun, I meet brother Zhang and sister Jun. Please have tea." After hearing the names called out by Lin Changqing, Zhang Jiahao was fine, just twitching the corners of his mouth, obviously restraining his smile. Li Xiangjun didn't care so much, and laughed, chuckled, and stopped after a while. Then he said, "I'm sorry, brother Zhang's name is quite humorous and elegant, I couldn't help it." Lin Changqing was helpless. This was not the first time he encountered such a situation. Senior Chen Jiki had laughed, Chen Zai had laughed, and now Li Xiangjun had also laughed. He had no choice. He couldn't just argue with him. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 210, Two-Handed Preparation. Then the three of them really started chatting, as if they were really bored during the journey and were just chatting together. Lin Changqing observed carefully and found that Li Xiangjun was indeed good at speaking, and she was the one who led the whole chat. After drinking almost a whole pot of tea, the three of them started to talk about business, and it was Li Xiangjun who started it. I heard from my husband that Taoist Xiao Zhang is interested in the three-color deer. I wonder if this is true. After hearing this, Lin Changqing exclaimed in her heart that it was amazing. It was obviously them who came to discuss cooperation with her, but now it turned out that she was interested in the three-color deer, although she was right. Lin Changqing nodded. Yes, you can say that. I've heard from my elders before that three-color deer are low-level auspicious spiritual beasts. They are natural spiritual planters and spiritual healers, although this kind of spiritual beast is not good at fighting. But they are very alert, and they are wind-type spiritual beasts, moving very fast, and it is not easy to capture them alive. It is rumored in the market that someone once offered 10,000 spirit stones to buy a living three-color deer. I wonder how many appeared this time. When Li Xiangjun heard Changqing say this, she had a general idea in her mind. She knew that he knew more about three-color deer, so she simply didn't hide it. He started to introduce the specific situation, according to the monk who sold us the news this time. A team of them saw with their own eyes that there were 4 three-color deer in total, but they were indeed very fast and very alert. Once they found someone approaching, they ran away. Their team searched around that area for a long time, but still couldn't find it. There was no way, so in order to reduce the loss, they sold the news to us. And now the Wanbao Pavilion of Kitayan Mansion has opened a price of 20,000 lingxi for each living first-level three-color deer, and 100,000 lingxi for each second-level living three-color deer. So my husband will tell you that as long as you complete the task successfully this time, you can get at least 20,000 lingxi. In addition, we suspect that there are three-color deer in Jianzhou Prefecture, and this news has been leaked. Otherwise, Wanbao Pavilion would not have deliberately doubled the purchase price of three-color deer, and also spread it specifically. The purpose of Wanbao Pavilion doing this should be to get more people to capture these three-color deer and then sell them to Wanbao Pavilion. Lin Changqing nodded, feeling that Li Xiangjun's analysis made sense. He also felt that Wanbao Pavilion was probably planning this. It seems that there will be quite a few monster hunting teams looking for the three-colored deer this time. Maybe someone will not be able to resist and rob them. Li Xiangjun nodded in agreement and said, yes, from what I saw, there are already 2 or 3 monster hunting teams on the passenger ship this time. They usually hunt monsters near Kitayan Mansion, but now they suddenly appear on this passenger ship to Jianzhou Mansion. It is obvious that they have heard the news and are looking for the three-color deer. The competition this time must be very fierce. So this is why my husband was very excited when he saw that you had 2 golden-winged birds, and he couldn't wait to come to you for cooperation. Hearing what Li Xiangjun said, Lin Changqing smiled and said, even if the golden-winged birds can find those three-color deer, how can you guarantee that you can capture them successfully? Hearing the question raised by Lin Changqing, before Li Xiangjun said anything, Zhang Jiahao couldn't help but laugh proudly. Then he said, let me tell you about this. I have a first-stage late-stage swift thunder leopard. It will definitely not be a problem for it to attack and entangle a three-colored deer first. And my own swift wind step has been cultivated to the great perfection, so I should be able to entangle one by then. We estimate that these 4 three-colored deer should be a family, 2 adult three-colored deer with 2 fawns, so as long as we entangle the 2 big ones, they may all be left behind. And we have some other auxiliary means to ensure that as long as we find their traces, at least 60% to 70% of them can be captured alive. Lin Changqing had to admire that others were also fully prepared, and it seemed that there was really a need to cooperate with him. So Lin Changqing nodded, agreeing with Zhang Jiahao's method. After all, last time, he himself used a similar method to subdue Lu Yaoqiang's family. So, if we cooperate with each other, don't we have a great chance of winning? Then how are you going to cooperate with me? Lin Changqing asked directly. Li Xiangjun said at this time, let's cooperate. If the three-colored deer is found by your golden winged bird, then no matter how much you get in the end, you will get 30% of the profit. If we find it ourselves and you are willing to come to help, then the 5 of us will share it equally in the end, and you will get 20% of the profit at that time. What do you think? Lin Changqing pondered for a moment before saying, I can agree to your plan. But I have a request, that is, all the captured three-colored deer must be sold to me. The value will be based on the price offered by one Bao pavilion, and it can be settled with spiritual stones or spiritual objects at that time. Li Xiangjun and Zhang Jiahao looked at each other. They didn't expect Lin Changqing to make this request. After the two exchanged glances, Li Xiangjun said, we can agree to your request. Anyway, it's the same no matter who we sell it to, but we still want spiritual stones. Forget about spiritual objects. Lin Changqing hesitated for a while, but still nodded and agreed. However, if he asked him to take out so many spiritual stones at once, he didn't know if there would be any problems at that time. He just hoped that they would not make mistakes at that time. So where exactly did these three-colored deer appear? Now I can know, right? Li Xiangjun smiled and said, that's nothing. So many people know about it now anyway. But when we arrive at Jianzhou Prefecture, we won't go into the market town. We'll head directly to our destination. Lin Changqing heard this and immediately shook his head and said, no, I have something to do this time. I have to go to Jianzhou Market Town, so I have to go on this trip, and I only have about 10 days before I have to return. However, it only takes me 2 or 3 hours to get things done, and I guarantee that it won't take too much time. If you can't wait, you can also set off first, wait for me to finish my business, and then rush over to meet up with you. Li Xiangjun thought for a while, then said, since it only takes 2 or 3 hours, we'll wait for you. It's better for us to act together. Lin Changqing nodded. It would be nice if they could wait for him. Li Xiangjun continued, the group that sold us the news at the beginning entered the outer area of Qingyuan Mountain from Nanfang County and wandered around there for a few days. Finally, we encountered those three-colored deer, but it is estimated that they have been frightened. We have to expand the search area several times before we can find their traces. Lin Changqing knew that Nanfang County was about a day's flight away from Nan County, so Lin Changqing knew the approximate location in his mind. Then the three of them discussed some details, including meeting the other 2 members of the demon hunting team in 2 days. After discussing it, the couple told each other to leave. Now only Lin Changqing was left, and this incident suddenly happened, which also disrupted Lin Changqing's arrangements. Originally, when he arrived at Jianzhou Market, he was still thinking about finding an opportunity to deal with Chen Sibao, the insider in the gambling stone shop. Unexpectedly, this time, he escaped again. But forget it this time, there will always be a chance to deal with him in the future. The main issue now is still the problem of those three-colored deer, and we must find a way to get them. Therefore, Lin Changqing decided to make preparations for both situations. One was Lin Changqing himself, which was needless to say. The other was Su Miniang and Zhao Liu, as well as Lu Yaoqiang and Lu Xiaoya. Lu Yaoqiang and the others would come forward to recruit those three-colored deer. Of course, when the time came, they would definitely be given the ultimate move that Lin Changqing had prepared, the 100 flowers intoxicating wine. I believe that the deer would definitely be drunk by then. He took a look at the sky outside. It was almost noon. The guards of the passenger ship should have finished patrolling the passenger ship by this time. Therefore, Lin Changqing activated the maze array, summoned back all the purple crystal scorpions, and entered the inner space. Soon, Lu Yaoqiang's family came over and surrounded Lin Changqing, calling yo-yo. Every time this happened, it was Lin Changqing's busiest time. Each one had to be stroked and smoothed, and then fed with a soul-enhancing pill. This was the end of the matter. However, this time, Lin Changqing did not let them leave. Instead, he summoned Su Miniang and Zhao Liu as well. Soon, the two came to Lin Changqing, and then greeted him in unison. Little maid, meet the master. Lin Changqing nodded, and then went straight to the point. In Nanfang County, Jianzhou Prefecture, entering the outer area of Qingyuan Mountain Range, 4 three-colored deer were found. This time, the two of you, together with Lu Yaoqiang and Lu Xiaoya, try to find them, and then let Lu Yaoqiang and others come forward to recruit those three-colored deer. If the recruitment fails, then use the spiritual objects I prepared for you. Wait until they fall asleep, and then tie them up, put them in the spiritual beast bag and bring them back. Understand, the two were overjoyed to hear that they could go on a mission again. When the time comes, Lin Changqing will definitely reward them, so they quickly agreed. Afterwards, Lin Changqing told Liu Yaoqiang and Lu Xiaoyu through the contract, asking them to help recruit a few of their kind, and then they will be rewarded. Then, Lin Changqing told Liu Yaoqiang and others that if they failed to recruit, they would feed the three-color deer with Beihouzuhan wine, and told them not to rob them. After getting their promise to cooperate, Lin Changqing felt relieved and let Liu Yaoqiang and the others go play by themselves. Chapter 211 Preparing to expand the staff. Lin Changqing went back to the yard and found a few top-grade magic weapons in the room where the spoils were stored. 2 were for attack and 1 for defense. They were all earth-attributed magic weapons, which were just right for Su Miniang. After some consideration, he gave them a flying boat and a large spirit beast bag for each of them, which was more than enough to hold a few three-color deer. He also prepared some spirit stones, elixirs, and spirit talismans for them. The most important thing was that each of them was equipped with 4 yin thunder beads. This was because Lin Changqing considered that there would be many cultivators looking for the three-color deer this time, and disputes would inevitably arise with so many people, so he specially equipped them to at least ensure their safety. After leaving the yard, he distributed the things to Su Miniang and Zhao Liu, asking them to take them to sacrifice and refine them first, and then wait for Lin Changqing's notification. The two received the things and happily went to sacrifice and refine the magic weapons first. Lin Changqing suddenly thought that Nanfang County and Nan County were not too far apart. He also reminded Zhao Liu to change her makeup to avoid running into the monks of the Liu family. After getting her assurance, Lin Changqing felt relieved. As for the remaining big move, the 100 flowers soul-intoxicating wine, it would not be too late to prepare it when they were about to set off. The instructions and preparations had been almost done. The only thing left was to wait for the passenger ship to arrive at Jianzhou Market and find a chance to let them out. That would be half the battle. However, Lin Changqing still had things to do. He took out a large jade box from his storage bag. It was the jade box that was suspected to be the wood stump of the soul-nourishing wood. Lin Changqing came to the vicinity of the earth soul fruit tree and found a suitable place to transplant the small stump to the ground. Then he performed the spirit rain technique and the induced birth technique, and then called Liu Yaoqiang and his family over and gave them instructions, asking them to take special care of them in the future. Finally, Lin Changqing made a mark at that place. If he was really lucky, the stump he got would be the tree stump of the soul-nourishing wood. That is a treasure that takes 1,000 years to grow 1 inch, so I put a mark on it so I won't forget it. Then, thinking that there was still half a bottle of soul liquid that I didn't dare to use, I simply dealt with it. Then I came to the deep pit in the center of the inner space, took out the bottle, and threw it down. After a while, I felt a burst of joy in my heart, knowing that this thing would be useful to Lin Changqiu. Unfortunately, Lin Changqing would not, nor dared, casually kill people to refine souls. After doing these things, Lin Changqing patrolled the inner space again. After not coming in for a few days, Su Miniang and Zhao Liu had already planted the fruit cores of the 100-year-old Zhu fruit given by Lin Changqing. More than 200 fruit cores were planted in more than 40 acres of land. Now all the Zhu fruit tree seedlings are already 5 or 6 inches tall. Soon, Lin Changqing had a 100-year-old Zhu fruit forest. In theory, he could harvest thousands of Zhu fruits every few months, but this was only in theory. Now there are only Liu Yaoqiang's family in the space. And Zhao Liu also knows the art of inducing labor, but we have to focus on taking care of other spiritual medicines, spiritual herbs, and spiritual plants. Like the few earth soul fruit trees, the 6 main medicines of Zifu Tuangsuangan, the Qingai and bamboo sent by the great-grandmother, and the small root piles that were just planted, which are suspected to be soul-raising trees, and various important spiritual plants. Only when there is spare energy will they come to take care of this red fruit forest. At that time, Lin Changqing said that if it really doesn't work, just let them grow naturally. Moreover, the red fruits produced by the first few 100-year-old red fruit trees have been digested by Lin Changqing and his spiritual beasts. I remember that my grandfather said before that the medicinal power of taking 100-year-old red fruits by foundation-building cultivators is equivalent to 2 or 3 Lingyan pills. But there are other benefits that my grandfather didn't say, that is, red fruits are natural spiritual fruits, there is no elixir in them, As long as they are almost digested, you can continue to take the next one. Therefore, when the foundation is successfully built in the future, it is very likely that Lin Changqing will use 100-year-old red fruits to replace the Lingyan pills used for normal cultivation. Anyway, he had a lot of 100-year-old red fruits. If he didn't use them, they might end up being used by Su Miniang to make wine. Of course, this was Lin Changqing's own prediction. A little further away on the other side, Zhao Linyu and her friends had opened up more than 10 acres of land and surrounded it with earth dams. It seemed that this place was prepared to grow spiritual rice. It was estimated that the spiritual seeds of those spiritual rice were now being bred by Zhao Linyu. They would be sown when they were almost ready. Seeing this, Lin Changqing nodded. The inner space was getting bigger and bigger, and it was right to achieve self-sufficiency as soon as possible. However, the spiritual bees that he had wanted to bring in for a long time had not been encountered until now, and the spiritual fish fry and some poultry that could be raised, such as the 8 treasures chicken, had not been brought in yet. In this regard, he really had to pay more attention in the future. After inspecting the space and feeling that there was no problem, Lin Changqing exited the inner space and returned to the room of the passenger ship. He made himself a pot of tea. Lin Changqing was really not used to the ordinary spiritual tea he had just drunk, so he hurried to make a pot of tea to satisfy his craving. Originally, he went to Jianzhou market this time to go to Wanbao Pavilion to buy some mud to stone talismans. Then he would go back to the cave with the intercontinental teleportation array through Lin Changliu's space mark and close the external passage. Unexpectedly, he suddenly encountered several 3-color deer, so the matter of closing the passage might have to be postponed for some time. This is why Lin Changqing believed that the camouflage he arranged at the entrance of the passage would not be discovered by others in a short time. After all, the 2 brothers Lu Zinai did the same thing, and nothing happened for decades. Lin Changqing believed that his luck should not be that bad. And now the main focus must be on the 3-color deer. This kind of spiritual beast usually lives in the interior of Qinghai mountain range and rarely appears on the periphery. I don't know why it appeared on the periphery this time, but since Lin Changqing knew the news, he had to try his best to get them all. Another thing, just now through the communication with Zhang Jiahao and his wife, I feel that they are still okay. So for this cooperation, I hope they don't have any crooked thoughts. Lin Changqing really doesn't want to deal with them. Of course, if the cooperation goes smoothly, Lin Changqing will not be afraid of revealing his identity. After all, his current identity to the outside world is Zhang Dejin. When the time comes, once the hidden spirit mask is changed, go there to find Zhang Dejin. After sorting out all the thoughts, a pot of spiritual tea was just finished. Lin Changqing began to practice magic and supernatural powers. Now his cultivation has reached the great perfection of key refining. In the future, he will allocate more time to practice magic and supernatural powers. Time flies, and 5 days have passed. Wait, at about noon, the passenger ship will arrive at the landing field of Jianzhou Prefecture. 2 days ago, Zhang Jiahao and his wife, with 2 other team members, came to meet Lin Changqing, so that everyone knew each other. The other 2 members of their team were middle-aged cultivators in their 40s. One was surnamed Hu and the other surnamed Liu. They asked Lin Changqing to call them Lao Hu and Lao Liu. They called Lin Changqing Xiao Zhang, and Lao Zhang was Zhang Jiahao. The captain of this 4-man monster hunting team, Zhang Jiahao, was a cultivator of the great perfection of key refining, and the other 3 were at the 8th level of key refining. Their strength was considered relatively strong in the circle of casual cultivators. Considering Lao Zhang's current cultivation, if they really caught those 3-colored deer this time and successfully exchanged them for spiritual stones, plus some of their own savings, Lao Zhang might have enough spiritual stones to buy the foundation building pill. No wonder Li Xiangjun emphasized that they only wanted spiritual stones. However, this had little to do with Lin Changqing, as long as they didn't have any crooked thoughts at that time. Of course, it is not ruled out that everyone gets along well. Lin Changqing recognizes them, and helps them out. But this possibility is still quite small. After all, he still has to take care of his own people first. Chapter 212, Mud to Stone Talisman. After activating the maze array, Lin Changqing entered the inner space. Soon, Lu Yaoqiang and his family came around and shouted yo-yo, because they were going on a mission this time. So after Lin Changqing stroked their fur, he specially fed each tricolored deer 2 soul-nourishing pills. Then Su Miniang and Zhao Liao also came over. After paying their respects to Lin Changqing, they waited quietly on the side. Lin Changqing also took a special look at Zhao Liuyu's makeup. After feeling that there was no problem, he asked them to put Lu Yaoqiang and Lu Xiaoya into the spirit beast bag. Lin Changqing thought about it, and then he also put Lu Xiaoling into the spirit beast bracelet. Maybe he would need it to come out to help at that time. Lin Changqing cast a spiritual light shield on himself, and then took out the Zuinun heavy water bottle and took 4 small drops of Beihuzuhan liquor. He put them in 2 small jade bottles respectively. After doing all this, he handed them to the 2 of them together with 2 bottles of soul-nourishing pills. Su Miniang and Zhao Liyu each distributed their things, and then handed their storage bags and spirit beast bags to Lin Changqing. This time they all had experience, so Lin Changqing didn't need to remind them. Finally, Lin Changqing put them into the spirit beast bracelet and exited the inner space. Back in the room, Lin Changqing simply put away the maze array and the spirit gathering array, and scanned them twice with his spiritual sense. After confirming that there was nothing left out, he sat in the room, brewed a pot of spirit tea, and waited quietly for the passenger ship to land. However, instead of landing, the old Zhang couple arrived. Lin Changqing had no choice but to welcome them in. The 3 of them sat down as host and guest, and then Lin Changqing served them spirit tea. Li Xiangjin took the cup and took a sip. Her eyes lit up immediately, and she couldn't help but praise, "Little Taoist Zhang, what kind of spirit tea is this? It tastes really good." When Zhang Jiahao heard Li Xiangjin say this, he also quickly tasted it and immediately praised it. Lin Changqing was helpless and just happened to meet them, so he had to say, "This is Qingyu tea, which has the effect of refreshing the brain. I only have a little bit, and I am reluctant to drink it usually. Only when I encounter something, I will be willing to drink a little, so that I can clear my head." Li Xiangjin and the others laughed after hearing this, and it was Li Xiangjin who spoke first. "It seems that the 2 of us are lucky today, and we are in for a treat." Lin Changqing laughed dryly twice, and quickly changed the subject, asking them why they came. "Sister Jun, do you have anything to tell me this time?" "I dare not tell you anything. I just came to discuss with you, since you need 2 or 3 hours to do your own things. It is estimated that by the time you are done, it should be dark, so I think we might as well rest in the market for a night and set off tomorrow morning." Hearing her say this, Lin Changqing was overjoyed. This suggestion was very good and exactly what he wanted. He quickly said, "I have no objection, Sister Jun, just arrange it." Li Xiangjin saw that Lin Changqing agreed, so the matter was settled. Then the 3 of them started chatting and waiting for the passenger ship to land. Not long after, a pot of spiritual tea was finished, and the passenger ship just completed the landing. Several people got off the ship together and flew directly to the direction of Jianzhou Fangxi. After entering the Fangxi smoothly, Lin Changqing and Li Xiangjin agreed on the time and place to meet tomorrow, and then the 2 sides separated. Lin Changqing walked around in the Fangxi, and after confirming that no one was following him, he stepped into the Wanbao Pavilion. As soon as he entered the Wanbao Pavilion, a waiter came up to greet him. "Hello, guest, welcome to the Wanbao Pavilion. I am your shopping guide this time. You can just call me Xiao Li." Lin Changqing nodded and said, "I need to buy some spiritual talismans." Xiao Li nodded quickly and said, "Okay, guest, please come this way." Then he hurriedly led the way in front. Then he led Lin Changqing to a small private room. After Lin Changqing sat down and tasted the spiritual tea, Xiao Li asked, "What kind of talisman do you want, sir?" "I'll try to find it for you," Lin Changqing said directly. "I want some mud to stone talismans, about 10 of them." "Yes, sir, please wait a moment, I'll get them." Lin Changqing nodded, motioning him to go quickly. Soon, Xiao Li came back with a tray, on which there were 10 mud to stone talismans. "How many spiritual stones are these talismans worth?" Lin Changqing asked directly. "This mud to stone talisman is a 2nd level talisman. Each talisman costs 120 spiritual stones. There are 10 talismans here, a total of 1,200 spiritual stones," Xiao Li answered respectfully. Lin Changqing suddenly had an idea and said to Xiao Li, "I want these talismans. Does Wanbao Pavilion have any hidden spirit masks for sale?" Xiao Li hesitated for a moment before saying, "There are hidden spirit masks, but you need a 2nd level VIP card, and each hidden spirit mask requires 2,000 spirit stones." After hearing Xiao Li's words, Lin Changqing was overjoyed and immediately said, "I have a 2nd level VIP card, this is not a problem. Please prepare 10 hidden spirit masks for me." The masks should have ordinary faces. Don't be too handsome or too beautiful. I want 5 masks for men and women." After saying that, he handed his second-level VIP card to Xiaoli. Xiaoli took it and looked at it, then nodded and went down to prepare the masks. Not long after, Xiaoli came back with a tray covered with a red cloth. Seeing this, Lin Changqing couldn't help but nod. Wanbao Pavilion really did a great job in details. He also knew to cover the masks with red cloth to prevent others from seeing what was being traded. It was really impeccable. Without Xiaoli's introduction, Lin Changqing was very familiar with the hidden spirit mask and immediately checked it himself. Lin Changqing carefully checked each of the masks of the 5 men and 5 women, confirming that there were no flaws in them and that they met the requirements that Lin Changqing had just put forward. He was very satisfied. He took out 21,200 spirit stones from his storage bag and handed them to Xiaoli. Then he used a secret method to register the amount of spirit stones consumed this time on the VIP card. The transaction was completed. Lin Changqing put away all the things, refused Xiaoli's good intention to give him a gift, and left Wanbao Pavilion in a low-key manner. He walked directly to the hotel where he stayed last time and opened a room with familiarity. After the shop assistant who led the way left, Lin Changqing activated the restriction on the door and began to carefully check the entire room with his spiritual sense. After confirming that there was no problem, he set up his own small 5-element maze formation. Because it didn't take much time to go to Wanbao Pavilion to buy things, Lin Changqing decided to take advantage of the time now to completely seal the passage to the cave. He entered and activated the maze array, communicated with Lin Changqing, and asked it to leave a space mark in the room. Then he entered the inner space again, and asked Lin Changqing to shuttle towards the first space mark. Soon Lin Changqing told him that he had arrived. Lin Changqing was a little surprised. He didn't expect it to be so fast. He had arrived in less than a quarter of an hour. Lin Changqing exited the inner space and indeed came to the cross-continental teleportation array. After a careful check, he was relieved after confirming that no one had been there. He didn't dare to delay too much time. He put all the stones in the passage into the storage bag, came to the outside of the cave, released 24 purple crystal scorpions, and guarded the entrance of the cave in stealth. Then Lin Changqing flew more than 10 miles away and quickly filled several bags of soil with several large-capacity storage bags. Then he filled the mud passage and used all 10 mud-to-stone talismans. The effect was unexpectedly good. Lin Changqing went to the vicinity again and transplanted some thorny vines over. After performing the spiritual rain technique and the birth-inducing technique, all the traces were covered up. Lin Changqing was very satisfied. He summoned all 24 amethyst scorpions back to the spirit beast bracelet, then entered the inner space and communicated with Lin Changqing. After a while, Lin Changqing returned to the hotel room. It was incredible that the round trip, plus the time of closing the passage, did not exceed 2 hours. It was so convenient that Lin Changqing could not help but sigh. Chapter 213 Caught. However, there is still one thing to do. After communicating with Lin Changqing, a thin root appeared in the void and pierced the ground. Lin Changqing seemed to hear the sound of something breaking. He realized that the space mark left here had been destroyed by Lin Changqing, so he was relieved. After all, there are only 9 space marks left in total, and they cannot be wasted here, and it is not convenient to stay here. After doing these things, Lin Changqing went out and activated the ban on the door. He left the market directly and released Su Miniang and Zhao Liao in the woods more than 10 miles away, and returned their storage bags and spirit beast bags to them. He told them where they are now. As for the place where the 3-colored deer appeared, it has been explained clearly in the inner space, so there is no need to repeat it. He also gave each of them a newly bought hidden spirit mask, and then gave them a few more instructions and let them set off. Zhao Liao was quite familiar with Jinzhou Prefecture. She had been active in this place before. Therefore, she took Su Miniang with her on the Imperial flying boat and set off in the direction of Nanfang County. Looking at their figures gradually flying away, Lin Changqing was still very proud in his heart. This was the benefit of having subordinates to order around. He just hoped that they would not let him down. Lin Changqing had armed them to the teeth. Not to mention the offensive and defensive magic tools, talismans, and elixirs. He had brought 8 Yinlei beads. With these, the 2 of them could cooperate and fight against the foundation-building cultivators, of course, only for a while. After Zhao Liao and Su Miniang flew far away and confirmed that there was no tail following them, Lin Changqing returned to the hotel room. Now everything was ready. It depended on whether he had the luck to get these 3-color deer. The next morning, after completing his training, Lin Changqing returned the deposit and rushed to the gate of the market to wait. After a while, Lao Zhang and his wife, as well as Lao Liu and Lao Hu came to join them. Without wasting time, the 5 of them boarded a flying boat that Lao Zhang had released and flew to Nanfang County. The 5 of them took turns to drive the flying boat. It only took 3 days for them to reach Nanfang County. Lin Changqing was now worried that Zhao Liu and the others would leave first and leave them behind. He could only send a message to the Golden Rune in his Sea of Consciousness that he had arrived in Nanfang County, hoping that Zhao Liu would receive it and catch up as soon as possible. Lin Changqing and the other 5 did not make any stops in Nanfang County. After confirming that the place was correct, they flew directly to the outskirts of Qingyuan mountain range. The main reason was that Lao Zhang and the others were extremely anxious now. They were eager to get to the place as soon as possible so that they could start looking for the traces of the 3-color deer, fearing that others would find it first. 2 hours later, they officially entered the outskirts of Qingyuan mountain range. Without the urging of others, Lin Changqing had already asked Chuai, Chuer, and Chuer to look for the traces of the 3-color deer separately. Needless to say, they would definitely not make a mistake, as the 3-color deer is often seen in the inner space. The 5 people did not just wait and search, and also went deeper into the Qingyuan mountains, hoping to increase the chance of encountering the 3-color deer. Unfortunately, the 3-color deer was not encountered, and the monster hunting team with the same purpose encountered 2 teams with a total of 9 people. Fortunately, everyone was restrained, knowing that they had not found it yet, and now was not the time to take action. Each of them opened up a distance to search, gradually heading towards the depths of the Qingyuan mountains. After 2 hours, the weather darkened, and everyone found a suitable place to camp. Lin Changqing called back Chuai and Chuer. They had searched the surrounding area of hundreds of miles, but there was no trace of the 3-color deer. However, they did find a lot of other monsters. Lin Changqing reported the news of the discovery of the golden winged bird and other monsters to everyone. After discussing, everyone decided, try to avoid them as much as possible, and do not actively provoke these monsters. It is better to search for the 3-color deer with all your strength. It is not worth wasting time on other monsters now. Since this decision was made, Lin Changqing led them to avoid these monsters as much as possible to avoid wasting everyone's time. At the same time, he also used the golden runes in the Sea of Consciousness to convey to Zhao Liu that the golden winged bird had searched that area, so that they could avoid this range as much as possible. The next day, Lin Changqing continued to lead them to avoid monsters and go deeper into the Qingyuan mountains. The deeper they went, the fewer monks they encountered. They encountered 2 groups of people in the morning, but basically no one in the afternoon. Dozens of groups of people were scattered in a radius of thousands of miles. It was more difficult to react now. But it was good, at least it was not easy to fight. The 3rd and 4th days were the same. Today was the 5th day. They had already discussed that if they still didn't encounter any monsters after going deeper for another day, they would consider changing direction. The deeper they went, the more monsters they encountered, and they were getting stronger and stronger. Some were even a group. It took more and more time to avoid them, and they were a little bit overwhelmed. They had encountered 2 or 3 battles in the past few days, all of which were caused by not being able to avoid them when taking a detour. The goal this time was not to hunt them, so Lin Changqing and the others fought and retreated. Fortunately, as long as they left their territory for a distance, they would basically stop chasing them. Moreover, Junji and Lao Hu were slightly injured when they were avoiding the monsters, but fortunately they were not too serious. After taking the elixir to treat the external injuries, they can still exert the combat power of about level 8. Of course, even if they were asked to leave Qingyuan Mountain and go back to recuperate, they would not be willing. After all, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If they can really catch it, maybe they can get the opportunity to try to build a foundation, so they will definitely not leave. The only good news may be that yesterday, Chuai had already found Zhao Liu, Su Miniang and the others. Now their location is about 280 miles behind Lin Changqing's left-hand side. Lin Changqing has passed on the golden rune to Zhao Liu, asking them to look for it on their own left-hand side. At that time, Lin Changqing will lead Lao Zhang and the others to search to the right, so that the 2 sides will not interfere with each other. If they search in different directions at the same time, the possibility of finding it will be greater. And Lin Changqing has asked Chu Ai to search on his left side, so that he can cooperate with Zhao Liao and the others. The outer area of Qingyuan mountain range is too wide. No wonder the family takes about half a year to go hunting every time. However, Lin Changqing did not plan to stay in this place for so long. After all, he promised Chen Ziya that he would go back in about a month. Now the time is almost up. If he still can't find it after a few more days, he will quit the monster hunting team and go back, but Zhao Liao and the others will continue to search. The main fear is that if Lin Changqing has not appeared at the agreed time, Chen Ziya will worry about him and can't help but set out to find him. After all, Chen Ziya knows where Lin Changqing went, so Lin Changqing dare not take the risk and let her run around alone. Fortunately, only one day later, Chu Ai sent Lin Changqing good news that he had found a herd of three-colored deer, and it was about 50 miles northeast of Zhao Liao and the others. Lin Changqing quickly told Zhao Liao and the others the news through the golden rune. He was worried that they would not receive it because the distance was too far, so he asked Chu Ai to lower the altitude and guide them there. Zhao Liao and the others knew that Lin Changqing had two golden-winged birds, and they had seen each other in the inner space. I believe that with their intelligence, they would definitely understand. Since the location of the three-colored deer herd was already known, there was actually no need for Lin Changqing to search. However, he had to do the whole show, so Lin Changqing did not stop immediately, but continued the same as before, just slowing down the search speed a little. In fact, he was mainly waiting for Chu Ai's news. Finally, after almost 2 hours, Chu Ai sent the news that he caught it. Lin Changqing was ecstatic in his heart. Although he did not show it on his face, he could not help but clench his fist. But about a quarter of an hour later, news came that Zhao Liao and her partner had encountered another 5-man hunting team and a battle had taken place. This time, Lin Changqing became very anxious, but unfortunately, the two sides were now hundreds of miles apart. Even if he rushed over now, he believed that the battle would have ended. Moreover, there was no way for him to leave suddenly, so he could only wait silently, a little regretful that he did not bring some purple crystal scorpions with him. Chapter 214 Good News. Fortunately, about 3/4 of an hour later, Chu Ai received the news that the battle was over and Su Meinyang was injured. Lin Changqing was relieved a little bit, and conveyed to Zhao Liao through the golden rune that she could rest appropriately. But she had to get to the news of the reunion near the Red Copper Cave as soon as possible, and let Chu Ai follow them temporarily. Through constant communication with Chu Ai, he confirmed that they had begun to walk back, and knew that Zhao Liao had received his instructions, so Lin Changqing was completely relieved. Since the dust has settled over there is no point for Lin Changqing to continue searching here. However, it is not the time to bring it up now. Lin Changqing plans to hold on until the night when he camps, and then tell Lao Zhang and the others about his plan. Afterwards, Lin Changqing returned to his normal state as if nothing had happened, and continued to search to the right with Lao Zhang and the others. Of course, doing so would definitely be fruitless, and in the afternoon, they unexpectedly encountered a group of monsters. After spending a lot of time getting rid of them, it was almost dark, and Lao Zhang found a suitable place to camp. Lin Changqing had just called back the two golden-winged birds. He had to call them back because everyone knew he had two golden-winged birds. If he didn't call them back, others would be suspicious. When everyone gathered together in the evening to discuss how to find the three-colored deer, Lin Changqing couldn't help but speak. "Sorry, brothers and sister Jun, I have to go back tomorrow." After Lin Changqing said this, everyone was silent. It was Lao Zhang who spoke first. "Why don't you stay and look for a few more days? Maybe you will find it soon." Li Xiangjun also said, "Yes, we have been looking for so long, and these few days are not bad. At least try harder." Lao Hu and Lao Liu also tried to keep Lin Changqing, hoping that he would stay for a while. In fact, after getting along for about 10 days, Lin Changqing felt that the four of them were relatively upright and could be treated as ordinary friends. But the three-colored deer was already in his hands, and it was meaningless for him to stay here. Therefore, Lin Changqing still shook his head and explained, "I'm sorry, I really can't stay. This time I came to Puzhou Prefecture with a mission. Now the time is almost up, I have to go back." When Sister Jun and Lao Zhang came to me to discuss cooperation, they also said that I only have about 10 days. Moreover, although I have to leave, you can still stay and continue to look for it. If you find it, I can increase the price by 20%. But you must send it to Qingyuan City. When the time comes, go to the mountain gate of Qingyuan sect and let them notify the people of Changsha Peak. Naturally, someone will receive you. When Lin Changqing said this, the four were shocked. They didn't expect that Lin Changqing was actually an inner disciple of Qingyuan sect. The four looked at each other, and finally Li Xiangjun said, I didn't expect that fellow Taoist Zhang was still an inner disciple of Qingyuan sect. I'm sorry. Lin Changqing was a little embarrassed. After all, he was not even an outer disciple of Qingyuan sect, but he had no way to tell them that he was the body of a disciple of the Lin family, and finally chose Changsha Peak of Qingyuan sect as the transfer. Another reason for doing this is to thank them for the information they provided him, which allowed him to obtain the 4 3-colored deer. However, it was inconvenient for Lin Changqing to thank them openly, so he left the address of Changsha Peak of Qingyuan sect. If they need his help in the future, he will also give them some help as compensation. But this is up to them to understand. It is also possible that they will never look for him in their lives, which is also very likely. Sister Jun, you should call me Xiao Zhang. I'm more used to it. We've been working together for more than 10 days and we've become friends. We shouldn't be so formal. At this time, Lao Zhang also said, I knew that Xiao Zhang's identity was not simple. I had a hunch when I went up to drink Xiao Zhang's Qingyu tea. I just didn't expect that Xiao Zhang, as a disciple of the sect, would be willing to make friends with us casual cultivators. It's really rare. I recognize you as my friend, Lao Hu also shouted, you recognize me and I recognize you, but what Qingyu tea are you talking about? We went there last time, but you didn't serve us. It's not fair. I want to make up for it now. Lao Liu also started to make a fuss on the side, and Li Xiangjun said unceremoniously that she wanted to taste Lin Changqing's Qingyu tea again. There was no other way, so Lin Changqing could only take out a small box of Qingyu tea and brew a pot for everyone to taste. After everyone tasted it, everyone praised it. I didn't expect that Lao Zhang, who looked honest, would act quickly and even let him take away the remaining tea. Everyone asked about some things about Qingyuan sect. Fortunately, Lin Changqing heard a lot from Chen Ziya and basically answered all the questions. After a night of communication, everyone's friendship was greatly improved. The next morning, Lin Changqing said goodbye to Lao Zhang and the others, and then started his return journey alone. It took 5 or 6 days to enter the mountain, but they were searching and moving forward, and they didn't dare to make too much noise, for fear of scaring away the 3-colored deer. Going out, there are not so many details. It is estimated that 2 or 3 days will be enough, and Lin Changqing has already sent Chuai out. Follow the approximate direction of Zhao Liao and the others' return journey, look for their traces, and see if it is necessary to go over and meet them first. Chuer stayed with Lin Changqing, roaming around him, providing Lin Changqing with early warnings, and taking over Chuai's work. Now Lin Changqing is alone, which can be said to be very comfortable. When he puts the light gauze magic weapon on his body, there are basically few people who can find Lin Changqing. Unless it is a monster with special abilities, ordinary monsters can't even touch Lin Changqing's. For with this premise, Lin Changqing suddenly thought of a spirit beast that he had never used. It was the hairball that had been staying in the spirit beast bracelet. He raised his hand and let it out. When it just came out, it was still dazed, but when it saw the familiar environment around it, it became energetic again. Lin Changqing told it his thoughts through the contract and let it move freely to find out if there were any spirit creatures around. The hairball called to Lin Changqing and then disappeared. It had stayed in the spirit beast bracelet for too long. It was rare for it to return to its environment. It disappeared as soon as it had fun. Lin Changqing didn't worry about it and let it play by itself. Maybe it could bring him a little surprise. Almost 2 hours later, Chuai told Lin Changqing through the contract that he had found Zhao Liao and the others, and the situation was not bad, and there was no danger for the time being. Lin Changqing was not in a hurry to reunite with him. Anyway, it would be 2 or 3 days at most. With Chuai by their side, they would be much safer. With Chuer by his side, the day passed without any danger. At night, Lin Changqing found a suitable place to camp and set up the small 5-element maze array. The last one was the purple crystal scorpion. When they came out, Lin Changqing's mind moved and automatically formed a 3-layer defense warning circle around the maze array. Now we are in the Qingyuan Mountains. Although it is only the periphery, there are many monsters around, so no matter how careful you are, it is not too much. After all, you only have one life. With these measures, Lin Changqing dared to rest a little bit. Unexpectedly, in the middle of the night, He was awakened by Maokyu through the contract. Chapter 215, Super Long Tunnel. There was a small 5-element maze array outside to protect him. He couldn't find Lin Changqing and could only contact Lin Changqing through the contract. Lin Changqing cast a spell, opened a hole in the magic array, and let the ball in. Unexpectedly, as soon as it came in, it jumped up and down, very excited. Through the contract, it told Lin Changqing that it had found a lot of spiritual objects, but there were several powerful monsters there. He was very scared and didn't dare to get close, so he asked Lin Changqing to go and take a look. Lin Changqing was very upset. It was late at night, and the monsters outside were more active. It was pitch black and it was not suitable for going out. He could only tell it to go after dawn. Anyway, the thing couldn't run away. By the way, he also described what kind of monster it was. The ball told Lin Changqing that it had a long body and many scales on its body. Lin Changqing's first reaction was that it was a snake monster. This guess was well founded. The ball was a rodent. Its natural enemies were not only birds of prey, but also snakes, so the ball dared to get close. Since it was suspected to be a snake demon, Lin Changqing would not go there at night. It would be safer to wait until dawn to check it out. After making up his mind, he threw the fur ball into the spirit beast bracelet to prevent it from making noise and making it unable to rest. The next morning, after Lin Changqing completed his training, he summoned back the purple crystal scorpions that had been keeping watch for Lin Changqing last night and put them into the spirit beast bracelet. By the way, he gave them a lot of broken monster meat and a portion of ice crystals for them to chew slowly. Of course, the food on the second day of the new year was also monster meat, and a soul-raising pill was added. On the first day of the new year, it was with Zhao Liao and the others, so it had to find a way to solve it by itself. After feeding the spirit pet, he put away the maze array, scanned it with his spiritual sense, and confirmed that there was nothing missing before releasing the fur ball. He threw a soul-raising pill to it, and then let it lead the way to the place where it found the spirit object yesterday. Maokyu swallowed the Yulang pill in one gulp, and then he called out to Lin Changqing twice. Then he began to lead the way. When Lin Changqing saw the direction, he couldn't help but frown. Lin Changqing was going to leave the outer area of Qingyuan mountain range and return to Tongshan village, Nan County, and he was going to go west, but Maokyu was leading him to the southeast. This meant that the time to leave Qingyuan mountain range and meet Zhao Liao would be delayed again. But after thinking about it, he still followed. He wanted to see what spiritual object Maokyu found for him. If Maokyu dared to use something random to fool him, he would be in trouble. Unexpectedly, this walk took more than an hour, and finally stopped at the bottom of a small valley. Looking at the small cave in front of him, it was only as high as Lin Changqing's thigh at most. If he wanted to go in, he had to crawl in. Lin Changqing had already explored it with his spiritual sense. Going down 100 feet diagonally, the cave passages were almost the same. Now he was hesitating whether to go down and take a look, because the current limit of his spiritual sense was only 100 feet. He had no way of estimating how far down the tunnel was. If he encountered danger in this kind of terrain, he would be too passive. The most fatal thing was that this place was all rocky, and the earth walking technique could not be used here. There was no other way, so he could only summon the hairball back and ask it how far the tunnel was. Through the information it transmitted, Lin Changqing guessed that it should be at least 3 or 4 miles long. This really made his scalp tingle. In the end, there was no other way, so he first released 36 purple crystal scorpions to fight in the front, and then he followed behind. And with his spiritual sense fully open, fearing that he would be attacked, he passed through this several-mile-long, winding tunnel with trepidation. It was not until the middle of the way down that a fork began to appear. Lin Changqing quickly marked the direction he came from to avoid getting lost. After following the hairball all the way to the bottom, there was another different scene. The space below was obviously much wider. At least Lin Changqing could stand up straight. It was too awkward to lie down all the time. This place was quite similar to the Chilean Huiton cave that he had seen at that time, with its cave passage. However, the cave wall was covered with claw marks that were nearly a foot long, which made Lin Changqing have a different guess from last night. He continued to follow the four-ball and advanced 2 or 3 miles. It finally stopped and looked at Lin Changqing. Its little claws pointed at the cave passage in front of it. It was very smart not to make any sound. Lin Changqing nodded at it and put it into the spirit beast bracelet. Judging from its performance, there must be monsters in the cave passage. It was better to put it into the spirit beast bracelet first to be safe, so as not to be affected by the battle later. The spiritual sense probed inside little by little, and finally saw 5 bright yellow pangolins. No, they should be called ground armor beasts. The 2 big and 3 small ones were obviously a family. The 2 big ones were about 12 or 13 feet long. Judging from the spiritual pressure emitted from their bodies, they were now at the peak of the late stage of the first stage. The small ones were also 1/3 of their parents' length and had the cultivation level of the primary stage of the first stage. All 5 of them were covered with bright yellow hard scales, except for their mouths and abdomens, which were covered with a thin layer of light yellow scales. They didn't seem to have as strong a defense as the hard scales on their bodies. They looked pretty and majestic, with strong claws on their limbs. The 2 big ground armor beasts were now scraping the lowest crystals on the cave wall. Yes, lowest crystals. Lin Changqing had bought them in Red Leaf Fortress. They were first-class medium-quality spiritual crystals, worth 50 spiritual stones each. The 2 big ground armor beasts had piled up a lot of yellow crystals, and they were being eaten by the 3 small ground armor beasts. Lin Changqing really liked them more and more. They were ground armor beasts, spiritual beasts of the gold, earth, and 2 elements. They were born miners. Their claws dug into the rocks and they could really cut through the rocks like mud. They are the experts in earth escape. The soul-seeking rats are far inferior to them in earth escape. Moreover, their fighting power is not weak either. They can use earth spikes, earth walls, thick earth shields, and so on. In addition, they are covered with thick armor, which makes them very difficult to deal with. However, the 5 earth armor beasts are now in this open passage, surrounded by rocks. They can't run away, and at least the 3 small earth armor beasts can't run away. However, Lin Changqing is interested in the 2 big ones, and the 3 small earth armor beasts are incidental. If you want to capture them alive, you still have to use the purple crystal scorpion. Each earth armor beast has a purple crystal scorpion. Because there are more than one, it's useless. When their bodies are hurt, they will immediately curl up into a ball and wrap themselves with thick scales, so they only have one chance to attack. When all 5 purple crystal scorpions arrived at the right position, Lin Changqing had an idea and the 5 purple crystal scorpions attacked at the same time. Then 5 screams like babies crying rang out at almost the same time. This sound was very special and horrifying. The 5 ground armor beasts curled up into 5 balls, all their scales stood up, but they could still be seen trembling. Not long after, the 3 small ground armor beasts were no longer able to maintain their curled up state, and unconsciously relaxed. Lin Changqing hurried over to check, and found that the 3 small ones were alive, so he was relieved. After thinking about it, he put the 3 little guys into the spirit beast bracelet. Lin Changqing didn't dare to get close to the 2 big ones, because they were 12 or 13 feet long, and the ground armor beasts were also considered power-type monsters. Lin Changqing couldn't bear a collision. Chapter 216 The Timid Big Guy. So he used his spiritual sense to communicate with the largest earth armor beast, and told it to surrender and promise not to hurt him. Lin Changqing saw their performance just now and knew that these 2 earth armor beasts were very spiritual. They must understand what he meant. Now it depends on whether they are willing to surrender for his wife and 3 children. Seeing that the big guy was still curled up tightly and did not respond to his words, Lin Changqing could only convey again that he would guarantee the safety of their family of 5 and would not let them separate. He also promised to provide spiritual objects to help them advance to the 2nd level when necessary. This time, there was finally a reaction. The curled-up body relaxed half a circle, and stretched out its slightly pointed head to observe Lin Changqing. It looked quite funny like this, but Lin Changqing knew that he could not laugh now, so he tried hard to hold it back. He took out a 100-year-old red fruit from the storage bag, gestured to it, and then threw it to its mouth. The big guy stuck out his tongue and touched the zoo fruit. After feeling that there was no problem, he used his tongue to roll the zoo fruit into his mouth. With a click, the zoo fruit was crushed and swallowed. Then nothing happened. The big guy looked at Lin Changqing with eager eyes. Lin Changqing suddenly realized that it was waiting for him to continue feeding it. He threw another zoo fruit to it. This time, it didn't even need to test it. It directly rolled the zoo fruit in the air into its mouth with its tongue. With a click, it crushed and swallowed it, and then continued to look at Lin Changqing eagerly. This time, Lin Changqing didn't feed him zoo fruit again, but used his spiritual consciousness to communicate with him again. If he was willing to surrender, He could often feed him 100-year-old zoo fruit or even higher-level spiritual objects in the future. Then, in order to make them more convinced, Lin Changqing took out the Zuinun heavy water bottle, put a spiritual light shield on himself, and took out a Bulbeho Zuhen wine from it. This time the effect was immediate. The big guy did not curl up, but directly spread out his body and rushed over. Lin Changqing immediately put the spirit wine back into the heavy water bottle. The divine consciousness communicated with it again, conveying that only if it completely surrendered, would it be given the spirit wine just now. If it was willing to surrender, it should lie down directly and turn its belly towards Lin Changqing. The big guy did not immediately do what Lin Changqing wanted, but licked it with its tongue. The other ground armor beast next to it then leaned its head over. It was obvious that the two ground armor beasts were communicating with each other. After a while, the other ground armor beast also spread out its body and approached Lin Changqing for a distance. Then the two ground armor beasts laid down and exposed their bellies to Lin Changqing. At this point, their meaning was already very clear. They expressed their willingness to surrender to Lin Changqing with practical actions. Lin Changqing couldn't hold back his excitement, chanted the spell of the master servant contract, and then used the golden needle to prick his finger, forcing out a drop of blood essence containing his own spiritual energy, and dripped it on the forehead of the first earth armor beast. The blood essence was quickly absorbed into the sea of consciousness by the earth armor beast, and he could immediately sense the existence of the big guy in his mind. Through the contract, he also felt that the earth armor beast was cautious and conveyed waves of submission. Lin Changqing looked at its cautious appearance, and felt that it was a little different from the record in the Qinghai Mountain Range Spirit Beast records. It was not as powerful as recorded in the book. The record highly praised this guy. From the meaning, it seemed that even the swift thunder leopard could not compare with it. But now was not the time to think about those things, and immediately put aside these messy thoughts. Lin Changqing comforted the big guy through the contract, and then reached out and gently stroked its pointed head. It was quite smart. When he saw Lin Changqing was going to touch its head, he knew to put down the scales. This made Lin Changqing very pleased. He chanted the spell of the master servant's contract and contracted the other ground armor beast. Soon, he also sensed the existence of the ground armor beast. The female ground armor beast was also cautious and conveyed the meaning of submission. Now Lin Changqing finally confirmed it. This kind of monster beast is really timid. I don't know why the record of spiritual beasts in Qinghai Mountain Range praises them so much. However, according to the usual practice, he comforted this big guy and reached out to touch its pointed head. Then he took out a red fruit and put it in front of it. It was immediately bitten and swallowed with a click. It seems that it has been waiting for Lin Changqing's red fruit. After eating it, it looked at him eagerly. Seeing it like this, Lin Changqing couldn't help laughing and gave it another one, so that the two were treated the same. However, now there is a new problem. These big guys are omnivores. Lin Changqing can also provide spiritual fruits and some monster meat. But Lin Changqing doesn't have that many gold, earth, and spiritual space that their bodies need. These are all white spiritual stones. So the best choice is to leave them here first. They will naturally look for the various gold, earth, and spiritual space they need. In this way, Lin Changqing not only saves the spiritual stones to buy spiritual space for them, but may also harvest a lot of space veins, and Lin Changqing will be blessed at that time. After making up his mind, Lin Changqing thought he should give them all names to facilitate summoning them in the future. Thinking that they are gold and earth attribute spirit beasts, he thinks that the names of Jinai and Jiner are good, and they match the color of their bodies very well. The largest one is called Jinai, and the slightly smaller one is called Jiner. After deciding, I told them the names through the contract. Unexpectedly, the two big guys were quite happy and took the initiative to stretch their heads to get close to Lin Changqing. Seeing them like this, Lin Changqing also likes them very much. And now, Lin Changqing can observe them more carefully. The body length is 123 feet, and the thick and long tail accounts for about 2/5 of the body length. The height of the body is about 4 feet, with strong limbs and bright yellow scales, which makes it look powerful. People who don't know them will feel that they are extraordinary and powerful, but in fact they are shy and timid. Suddenly, he remembered that there were 3 little guys in the spirit beast bracelet, and he raised his hand to release them. These 3 little guys have low cultivation and have not recovered yet. Seeing them like this, Lin Changqing released Lu Xiaoling as well. The sudden appearance of the 3-color deer, Jinyi and Jinner, scared them. Lu Xiaoling, who had just come out, also rolled over and ran behind Lin Changqing to hide. Lin Changqing was speechless. Why are the spirit beasts he contracted not so courageous? Through the contract communication, Lu Xiaoling gave each of the 3 small earth armor beasts 2 rejuvenation spells. After receiving treatment, they got better. Then Lin Changqing gave Lu Xiaoling a soul-raising pill, which was a reward for it, and then sent it back to the spirit beast bracelet. Jin Yi and Jin Er also came to the 3 little guys at this time, touching them with their heads, probably to comfort them. Seeing that the 3 little guys were still sick and listless, Lin Changqing knew that they had to take the 100 flowers soul-intoxicating wine, otherwise the injuries on their souls would continue to torture them. He had to communicate with Jin Yi and Jin Er, telling them that he would take out the spirit wine to treat the 3 little guys. Then, the little guys would fall into deep sleep, and this state would last for a short time, so they should not be anxious at that time, just wait with peace of mind. He put on a spiritual light shield again, followed by the Zuinun heavy water bottle, and took 3 small balls of soul-intoxicating wine. This time, he deliberately increased the amount a little bit, which should be enough for them to heal the injuries on their souls and successfully advance to the middle stage of the first stage. The 3 little earth armor beasts smelled the fragrance of the spirit wine and immediately came to life, but they were a little timid and did not dare to come to Lin Changqing. Lin Changqing did not mind, and sent the spirit wine to them respectively, and they were swallowed immediately. Soon, they all fell to the ground and fell into deep sleep. Jin Yi and Jin Er touched them with their heads. Lin Changqing communicated with the 2 big guys again and calmed their emotions. Thinking that they were omnivorous spirit beasts, Lin Changqing took out some monster meat from the storage bag, cut it, and fed it to them to divert their attention. The 2 big guys must have not eaten meat for a long time. They ate voraciously and were not polite at all. After a while, they were finally full. Lin Changqing then communicated with Lin Changliu and asked him to leave a space mark here, so that it would be much easier for him to visit them in the future. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 217 Lois Crystal Ore. After doing all this, Lin Changqing broke the contract and told Jin Yi and Jin Er to stay here with peace of mind. This place would be the place where the 2 sides would meet in the future. Lin Changqing would bring them monster meat and some spiritual fruits every once in a while, and come to see their harvest. As for this Lois crystal mine, Lin Changqing was not a geomancer, and did not know how to measure the scale of the Kuangmei. However, seeing that Jin Yi and Jin Er had dug such a long Kuangdao, the micro Kuangmei must not be of this scale, so Lin Changqing estimated that it was at least a small Kuangmei. It was just a pity that this was only a first-level medium-quality Huangshi crystal Kuang. The purple crystal scorpions were now in the late first level, and the medium-quality Huangshi crystal was a little worse for them. However, considering that the purple crystal scorpions might use these Lois crystal mines in the future if they reproduced, it was decided to store some of them. If it was really useless at that time, it would be poured directly into the deep pit in the inner space for Lin Changliu to absorb and digest. Anyway, it would definitely not be wasted. So he told Jin Yi and Jin Er to dig more when they had time. He would come to collect it after a while and bring them something. In fact, when he just entered here, Lin Changqing had already been inspired. Now with Jin Yi, Jin Er and their family, the Lin family can find 1 or 2 suitable places in the Qinghai mountain area that the family is responsible for. Let the ground armor beasts also dig out 1 or 2 such spaces. As long as they are made bigger and covered with appropriate magic arrays, they can be used as secret places. And if they can find a spiritual vein, it will be even more perfect. They can even transfer some of the tribe members to the secret place with spiritual veins. Of course, it is just an idea of Lin Changqing now. The specific details must wait until he returns to the tribe and discusses with his grandfather or the tribe leader before he can implement it. Then Lin Changqing roughly inspected the long open road dug by the ground armor beasts. It was a big project to dig it like this. It is estimated that their family has lived here for a long time, and they may not have gone out hunting much, so the 2 big guys ate meat so voraciously. After returning to Jin Yi and Jin Er, Lin Changqing deliberately left some monster meat. These can be fed to the 3 small earth armor beasts when they wake up. They will definitely need them when they advance. Lin Changqing has only contracted 2 big ones now, and the 3 small ones have not yet been contracted. He is not worried about this. There is no need to be so urgent. The small ones will be dealt with after a while. Anyway, they will definitely not be able to escape. Moreover, they have contracted twice today and have lost 2 drops of blood essence. It is better to wait until the body recovers before contracting again. Then he recalled the 36 purple crystal scorpions that had just taken the lead to the spirit beast bracelet, and then talked to Jin Yi and Jinner. Lin Changqing followed the thin passage that he had just entered and went out smoothly, returning to the ground of the small valley. Looking at the small entrance to the lowest crystal vein on the ground, Lin Changqing considered it and found a big stone to block the entrance, and also made a pile of rocks around to cover it. After contacting Chuer, Lin Changqing continued on his way. He was busy with this matter early in the morning, and it has been most of the day now. Continue to go west, and when you leave the Qinghai Mountains, you can fly. You must try to travel as much as possible today, otherwise you will waste another day. After communicating with Chui, Lin Changqing was relieved to know that there is no danger now. They can leave the outer area of Qinghai Mountains in about a day and a half. It will be earlier than Lin Changqing, and then they can just meet up at the place he designated. 2 days passed very well. With the help of Chuer, Lin Changqing finally left the outer mountains without any danger. Zhao Liao and the others were about half a day earlier than him, and now they are almost there. Lin Changqing also started to fly towards Tongshan village with his sword. Finally, when it was completely dark, they arrived at a meeting point and successfully found Zhao Liao and Su Miniang. Seeing Lin Changqing, the two hurriedly greeted, "Hello, Master. We have lived up to your trust and have caught those 3 color deer." Lin Changqing was completely relieved to see them. After all, apart from anything else, Lu Yaoqiang and Lu Xiao were still in their spirit beast bags. He nodded and said, "Thank you for your hard work this time. You have done a good job. Now give me your storage bags and spirit beast bags. I will send you back to the inner space to rest. We can talk about anything later." Su Miniang and Zhao Liao nodded, and then handed over the 7 storage bags and 3 spirit beast bags on their bodies to Lin Changqing, and they were also put into the spirit beast bracelet by Lin Changqing. Seeing so many storage bags in his hands, Lin Changqing knew that their experience this time should not be simple, but he would ask about it when he had time. The next day is the first day of the new year. If you leave Lin Changqing and go on a mission to cooperate with Zhao Liao and others, you will definitely be rewarded. However, now the first and second days of the new year were fed a spiritual nourishing pill by Lin Changqing and then put into the spirit beast bracelet. He is not far from Tongshan village now, and he can't help but want to see Chen Ziya. After all, he hasn't seen her for more than a month. He identified the direction and flew towards Chen Ziya's house. Soon he arrived at the door of the Chen family. After a scan with his spiritual sense, all the Chen family members have returned, including Chen Ziya's sister, Chen Zilin and 2 children, who are also here. Lin Changqing started knocking on the door, and soon, Chen Ziya's eldest brother Chen Zichen came to open the door. As soon as they met, Lin Changqing greeted him, "Brother Shi, I'm back." Chen Zichen saw that it was Lin Changqing who came to the door, and he couldn't help but be overjoyed, and shouted loudly, "Brother Shi is back, come in quickly." Then he pulled Lin Changqing to the living room. Chen Zichen's shout just now was heard by everyone in the Chen family. So, not long after, almost all the Chen family members came, and the living room suddenly became lively. The last ones to come were Chen Ziya and her sister. After greeting everyone, Chen Ziya's father began to ask about his experience this time. Lin Changqing picked out some things that he could talk about, and added various things he saw and heard along the way, polished and processed them, and told them as stories. Listening to stories is something that everyone, regardless of gender, age, adults or children, likes equally, especially stories about immortal cultivators, which are even more fascinating. So later on, it was mainly Lin Changqing who was talking. He talked for almost 2 hours, and it was almost midnight. Everyone went back to rest reluctantly. Lin Changqing missed Chen Ziya very much, but the occasion was not right, so the 2 of them could not say a few words. Instead, her sister Chen Zilin asked the most questions. When the meeting ended, Chen Ziya winked at him mischievously. Lin Changqing smiled knowingly, knowing that it meant to meet tomorrow morning. Lin Changqing has lived here for a long time, so there is no need to be polite. He returned to the courtyard where he lived before. Seeing that everything in the courtyard was cleaned up, He knew that it must be the result of Chen Ziya coming here often to clean, and he felt warm in his heart. Back here, he felt much more at ease. This time, the expedition ended perfectly here. If nothing unexpected happens, the next trip should be to return to Qinghai sect with Chen Ziya. As usual, he used his spiritual sense to carefully check the yard twice. After confirming that there were no problems, he set up the small 5-element maze array and the spirit gathering array. After returning to the room and activating the magic array, Lin Changqing entered the inner space. As soon as he came in, he was really not used to the cold and deserted atmosphere. He raised his hand and released Zhao Liao and Su Miniang from the spirit beast bracelet. He returned the storage bag and the spirit beast bag to them and asked them to release Lu Yaoqiang and Lu Xiaoya first. Lin Changqing also released Lu Xiaoling. This time, the inner space finally returned to its former liveliness. Lu Yaoqiang and his family began to surround Lin Changqing and call Yo-Yo, again. Especially Lu Yaoqiang, he actually asked Lin Changqing for credit through the contract. Chapter 218, Hitting with Horns. This is a rare thing, but Lin Changqing knows that Lu Yaoqiang and his family have really made a contribution this time. Therefore, Lin Changqing personally provides them with full-body caressing and fur-smoothing services, which makes Lu Xiaoya and Lu Xiaoling so comfortable that they lean on Lin Changqing and don't want to move. Lu Yaoqiang also wants to lean on Lin Changqing, but this guy has horns on his head, so it's easy to get him, so Lin Changqing asked him to go away. At this time, he finally had some free time to pay attention to Su Miniang and Zhao Liao. He took a look at them and felt that they looked good. So he asked, "Can anyone tell me about the experience of this mission? Did Chuai say that Su Miniang was injured? Has she recovered?" When Su Miniang heard Lin Changqing mention her injury, she quickly explained, "Master, I did suffer some injuries in the battle. Fortunately, the master's 2 3-colored deer were present. The effect of their revival technique was very good. In addition to the rest of the past few days, it is estimated that they will be almost healed in about a month." Hearing her say this, Lin Changqing nodded. This was the best. So far, Su Miniang and Zhao Liao have performed well. They executed his orders very well and were considered good subordinates. Lin Changqing did not want them to die easily. At this time, Zhao Liao said, "Master, let me tell you. We flew from outside Jinzhou Market to the direction of Nanfang County. We flew for about 3 days. When I received a message from the master, we were also near Nanfang County. Along the way, we met several demon hunting teams. Fortunately, everyone was safe and sound. Unexpectedly, we met more monks when we entered the periphery of Qinghai Mountains. We had to search in the direction with fewer people. Unfortunately, the range is too large. We could still meet people in the first 2 days, but we were just alone in the back. Fortunately, at this time, we received the direction indicated by the master and recognized the master's spiritual pet golden wingbird. We knew that it was here to lead the way for us, and we had to follow it, otherwise we would definitely still be wandering around in Qinghai Mountains. Sure enough, 2 days later, under the guidance of the golden wingbird, we discovered the 4 3-colored deer before others. Then, according to the master's arrangement, we released Lu Yaoqiang and Lu Xiaoya to communicate with them and see if we could recruit them. However, both sides yo-yo. We called for a long time, but Lu Yaoqiang didn't bring them back. We were afraid that the night would be long and there would be many dreams, so we acted decisively and used the spiritual objects given by the master to fascinate them all. We tied them up and put them in the spiritual beast bag. Just when we were about to collect Lu Yaoqiang and the others, a 5-man demon hunting team suddenly appeared. As soon as they saw Lu Yaoqiang and Lu Xiaoya, they attacked us directly. We were caught off guard and could only fight back desperately. Main Yang was also injured at this time. Because the power comparison was too disparate, we had to act decisively and use the Yin Thunder Pearl given by the master. A total of 4 Yin Thunder Pearls were consumed, killing one of the opponents and injuring 2. Unexpectedly, at this time, Lu Yaoqiang suddenly turned into a gust of wind, rushed towards one of the monks on the other side, and slammed into him hard. The man was knocked away at least 3 or 4 feet away, and there were several holes in his body. He looked like he was about to die when he landed on the ground, and was supplemented by Main Yang with a sword. Hearing this, Lin Changqing was shocked. He didn't expect that the auspicious 3-colored deer, which he had always thought was harmless to humans and animals, could actually use the wind escape technique to hit people with its horns. Looking at Lu Yaoqiang's body, He is now more than 6 feet tall. If you count the horns on his head, it should be more than 9 feet tall. It seems to be a little taller than when he was promoted to the second level. His body is about 10 feet long and looks stronger than before. His body should be about the same as that of a horse. It's just that his forelegs are not as thick as horse legs, and they look a little thinner, but they also look strong and powerful, and they give people the impression that they are very good at jumping. This body must be at least 500 or 600 pounds. It's scary to think about using the wind escape technique to hit people with its horns. And now Lin Changqing finally understood what Liu Yaoqiang meant by asking for credit just now. Thinking of this, he couldn't help but call it over. After stroking its head, he touched the sharp horns on its head. Now that it can help kill the enemy, the treatment will be different. Then he took out 200-year-old red fruits from the storage bag, and did not cut them open to take out the cores. Instead, he fed all the 2 red fruits to Liu Yaoqiang. Liu Yaoqiang was rewarded, and contentedly nudged Lin Changqing with his head. This guy had horns on his head, and Lin Changqing didn't dare to let him mess around. Seeing that Liu Yaoqiang was rewarded with spiritual fruits, Lu Xiaoya and Lu Xiaoling were not happy, and immediately surrounded Lin Changqing and shouted yo-yo. Lu Xiaoling even relied on Lin Changqing's love and went straight into his arms. There was no other way, so he had to take out 2 red fruits, cut one in half, fed half to Lu Xiaoling, and gave the remaining 1.5 to Lu Xiaoya, and only then could he barely appease them. Lin Changqing was in a very good mood now. He held Lu Xiaoling in his arms, stroked its fur, and then said to Zhao Liu, "Go on." Zhao Liu nodded, and then said, after Liu Yaoqiang had a cultivator, he turned half a circle, adjusted himself a little, and hired another cultivator. Its wind escape technique was too fast, and the cultivators in the key refining period couldn't avoid it at all. They were hit one after another. Moreover, in this situation, they couldn't run away even if they wanted to. In the end, the only one who was injured was killed by Mei Niang and I. Then I was afraid that the fluctuation of spiritual energy in the battle would attract other monster hunting teams, so I quickly cleaned up the battlefield. The other 3 color deer performed the Huayang technique to heal Mei Niang. Not long after, I received guidance from my master, saying that I could find a place to rest properly, and he also gave a rendezvous point and asked me to arrive as soon as possible. Soon, we found a relatively secluded place and rested for a long time. After Mei Niang confirmed that her injuries were not a big problem, she began to walk back. Next, with the help of the master's pet golden wingbird, she tried to avoid various monsters and the monster hunting team. She successfully arrived near the red copper cave and waited for the master to arrive. There was nothing more to say later. After listening to Zhao Liu's story, Lin Changqing nodded, thought for a while and said, "You did a good job this time, successfully completed the task, and brought back the 4 3-color deer. So I decided to give you some rewards. Su Mei Niang will reward you with resources to cultivate to the great perfection of the foundation building period, and after the great perfection of the foundation building period, I will give you a purple mansion Twinksling pill, or a spiritual object with similar effects." Su Mei Niang was overjoyed when she heard the reward from Lin Changqing. She knew that there were many main medicines of the purple mansion Twinksling pill planted in the inner space. The master said to give her a purple mansion Twinksling pill, and she believed it without a doubt, so she hurriedly opened her mouth to thank Lin Changqing. As for Zhao Liu, Lin Changqing thought about it for a while before speaking to her. "You already have the things I gave to Su Miniang just now, and I can't think of anything suitable for you. Otherwise, think about what you want. As long as it's not too difficult, I can agree to it." Zhao Liu was overjoyed when she heard what Lin Changqing said. During this mission, she saw several of her master's pets, especially the male 3-color deer, which impressed her deeply. It looked beautiful and elegant, but she didn't expect that it played such an important role at the critical moment, so she was very eager to have a pet of her own. It happened to be heard that Lin Changqing asked her to decide what she wanted, which was exactly what she wanted. So she spoke directly and told Lin Changqing her request. "Master, I want a pet." After saying that, she looked at him expectantly. Chapter 219 Another nest of 3-color deer. Lin Changqing frowned when he heard this. Zhao Liu's request was a little beyond their expectations. The main problem now was that Zhao Liu and Su Miniang were both supported by Lin Changqing and provided with the resources they needed for cultivation. Now Zhao Liu proposed to raise a spirit beast of her own, which would consume Lin Changqing's resources. So Lin Changqing thought about it and said directly, "I am also supporting you now." If I give you a spirit beast, what will you use to raise it? Zhao Liao was stunned when she heard this. She had never thought about this problem. Now that Lin Changqing said it, she came over anyway and couldn't help but feel a little disappointed. Seeing her like this, Lin Changqing didn't want to discourage her too much, so he said, although those spirit beasts that consume too many resources cannot be raised. But I allow you to raise a spirit beast that consumes less resources, or that can be raised by eating grass. There is no problem with this. Zhao Liao was overjoyed when she heard this, and hurriedly thanked Lin Changqing. Great, thank you, master. Then when will you find me a spirit beast that meets the requirements? Lin Changqing laughed dryly a few times and said, that will definitely be necessary. You have to wait until you meet a suitable one in the future. Where can I find it for you now? Zhao Liao nodded. She also knew that what Lin Changqing said was right, so she could only wait slowly. Seeing that everything was almost done, the only thing left was the goal of this mission. So, Lin Changqing said to the two of them, let the 4-3-color deer out and have a look. Su Miniang and the other person agreed, and then each of them released a large and a small 3-color deer from their spirit beast bags. There were 4 tricolor deer in total, 3 of which were tied up with their limbs. Su Miniang and her husband deliberately piled them together. Lin Changqing then observed carefully. The 2 big tricolor deer, one male and one female, were both at the peak of the first level. The amount of Beihuzuhan liquor Lin Changqing gave them was carefully considered. Taking it at the late stage of the first level would definitely not be enough to promote to the second level. At most, it would be like now, waking up and becoming the peak of the first level. The 2 small ones, one of which is a larger male deer, is at the middle stage of the first level. It is estimated that it has reached this level after taking Beihuzuhan liquor in the past few days. It is also the middle stage of the first level, but this little deer is much smaller than when Lin Changqing first saw Lu Xiaoling. Therefore, Lin Changqing judged that this tricolor deer was only recently promoted to the middle stage of the first level. The remaining little deer that was not tied up was less than 2 feet long, which can be judged as having been born not long ago. Although it was not tied up, it did not run around, but was very well behaved, following the doe. It was so cute and small, and now it was calling yo-yo to the doe. It was really super cute. Lin Changqing almost couldn't help but hug it and love it well, but considering that they had just arrived in a new environment, he was afraid of scaring them, so he didn't act rashly. At this time, Zhao Liao said, Master, when we saw them, the 2 big 3-color deer were both at the late stage of the first stage. And the little male deer was at the early stage of the first stage. I judged that the smallest one was born not long ago, and I was worried that it could not withstand the medicinal power of the spiritual wine, so I did not feed it with spiritual wine. When the other 3-color deer took the spiritual wine and fell asleep, this little guy did not run around and was caught by us all of a sudden. We were worried that we could not hurt it, so we did not tie it up. Lin Changqing listened and nodded. He agreed very much with Zhao Liao's judgment and decision, so he praised, I also made this judgment. You did a very good job. It is right not to tie it up. The fawn was just born and is really too small. It really should not be fed with spiritual wine. It will not do it any good if it is forced to grow. While Lin Changqing and the others were talking, the family of 4-3-color deer also kept calling yo-yo, probably communicating with each other. Lin Changqing was not in a hurry. He let them communicate on their own first and understand the current situation. It should be easier to talk to them later. The captured 3-color deer family communicated, which also attracted the strong attention of Lu Yaoqiang and his family of 3. Lin Changqing has been communicating with Lu Yaoqiang through the contract, and Lu Yaoqiang will need to help persuade them later. After about a quarter of an hour, Lin Changqing felt that it was almost done, so he walked directly to the side of the largest male deer. He reached out and stroked its head. The male deer instinctively dodged for a while. Lin Changqing didn't mind it and directly untied the ropes tied to it. The male deer didn't move too violently. He just stood up, gently pushed the female deer with his head, and then stayed by their side. Lin Changqing nodded. This was the best. It seemed that this 3-color deer was very family-oriented. This was very good news for Lin Changqing. The auspicious 3-color deer was very smart and had a relatively gentle temperament. Lin Changqing was most experienced in this. He used his spiritual sense to communicate with a male deer and sent it a message, saying that this was his private little space. Without his permission, they would never be able to leave. He hoped that they could surrender to him and he would guarantee that he would not harm them. Seeing that the male deer did not express anything special, Lin Changqing continued to communicate with his spiritual sense and sent it a message, promising that they could live here, and that there was a lot of food and various spiritual objects here. Hearing about food, the male deer's ear stood up for a moment. Lin Changqing saw it and his heart moved. That's right. They had just completed the advancement, and now it was time for them to eat because their stomachs were empty. He turned around and told Zhao Liao and the other two women, "Each of you go to the pasture and cut a large bundle of alfalfa for me." Zhao Liao and the other two were a little confused, but they still agreed and went to the pasture to cut grass. Not long after, the two of them came over with a large bundle of alfalfa each. Lin Changqing took it and scattered it in front of the 4 three-color deer. The male deer looked at Lin Changqing, hesitated for a while, and then lowered his head to smell it. After feeling that there was no problem, he tried to eat it. After eating a large pile of alfalfa in front of it, it called yo-yo twice to the other 3-color deer, and then they began to eat. Lin Changqing saw that they were willing to eat the food he gave, proving that the 3-color deer were not so resistant to him. Lin Changqing was very pleased and continued to send a message to the male deer. If it was willing to surrender, it would be promoted to the 2nd-level spiritual creature in the future. Its kind was the same as it before, and it also relied on the spiritual creatures he gave to successfully advance to the 2nd level. Hearing this, the male deer kept staring at Lin Changqing. He immediately knew that there was a chance, and immediately communicated with Liu Yaoqiang and Lu Xiaoya through the contract, asking them to go up and communicate. Soon, the 4 adult 3-color deer began to communicate, and the yo-yo sound continued for a short time, and Lin Changqing waited very patiently. After they basically stopped communicating, the 4 adult 3-color deer stared at him. Lin Changqing suddenly had an idea and understood it immediately. He took out the Zuinun heavy water bottle, put a spiritual light shield on himself, and then took out a Bulbeho Zuhan wine as big as his head. At this moment, all the 3-color deer, big and small, were all boiling. The male deer was about to move, but he was much slower than the deer. The 3 of them didn't care about that and surrounded them directly. Lu Xiaoling relied on Lin Changqing's love and rushed over directly, wanting to eat directly without caring. Fortunately, Lin Changqing was very experienced in this situation. As soon as Lu Xiaoling moved, the large ball of spiritual wine was taken back into the Zuinun heavy water bottle by Lin Changqing. Chapter 220 Lu Yaoguang. After pacifying Liu Yaoqiang's family, Lin Changqing had time to communicate with a male deer. Lin Changqing also knew that he should have been almost convinced, and the only thing left was the final word. So Lin Changqing directly made the final condition and promised it that when they completely digested and adapted to the current realm of cultivation, he would give them spiritual objects to help them advance to the 2nd level. After hearing Lin Changqing's promise, the male deer called yo-yo twice to the female deer, then came to Lin Changqing, got on all fours, squatted on the ground, and lowered his head against the ground. Lin Changqing was very familiar with this action, which was basically the same as Liu Yaoqiang's at that time. He didn't know if Liu Yaoqiang taught it, but the meaning of the expression was very clear. Lin Changqing knew that he had succeeded, and he forced himself to suppress his excitement. He reached out and gently stroked its forehead and antlers. Although the male deer's body was a little trembling, it did not resist. He felt extremely comfortable, but he didn't dare to delay any longer. Lin Changqing directly chanted the spell of the master-servant contract, then used the golden needle to prick his finger, forcing out a drop of blood essence containing his own spiritual energy, and dripped it on the male deer's forehead. It was soon absorbed into the male deer's sea of consciousness, and he could immediately sense its existence in his mind. Through the contract, he also felt the waves of submission conveyed by the male deer. Now he could communicate through the contract and convey his meaning to the male deer. The male deer called Lin Changqing yo-yo twice. Then he stood up and came to the female deer and the 2 fawns. The whole family exchanged yo-yo, and soon the male deer nodded to Lin Changqing. Lin Changqing understood that he had successfully persuaded them, and then chanted the spell of the master-servant contract, and contracted the female deer and another slightly larger fawn. Lin Changqing didn't have a contract with a fawn that was born not long ago, so he would talk about it after a while. The main reason is that he had contracted 2 ground armor beasts 2 days ago. In 3 days, he had used a total of 5 drops of blood essence. Lin Changqing's face was a little pale now. It's not over yet. Lin Changqing first untied the ropes on the deer, and then comforted them through the contract. By the way, he also stroked there for the main purpose was to have more contact with them, with the purpose of increasing mutual affection and starting to build some trust. In the past, Lin Changqing and Lu Yaoqiang's family also got along in this way. Now it can be said that Lin Changqing has a very good understanding of spiritual beasts, such as tricolor deer, and knows how to get along with them. Since they have become his own deer, he should give them all a name so that it is convenient to summon them in the future. After thinking about it, the male deer will be called Lu Yaoguang, the female deer will be called Lu Xiaomai, and the larger male deer will be called Lu Xiakang. The smallest little guy was originally going to be called Lu Xiaoxio, but it happened to have the same name as Mu Xiaoxio, so it was changed to Lu Xiaoman. Then, through the contract, he told them the names that Lin Changqing had given them, and they all accepted them happily. It was just that Lu Xiaoman didn't have a contract yet, so he couldn't convey too precise meanings, but it didn't matter. After a while, when Lin Changqing's body's blood and essence were restored, he would contract this little guy. Because there were new spirit beasts joining, Lin Changqing passed on the matters that needed attention in the inner space to the new deer through the contract. After thinking about it, he was still worried, so he personally led Lu Yaoguang's family over and pointed out the important spiritual medicines and spiritual plants to them. Of course, the most important deep pit in the inner space was also pointed out to them, and they were especially reminded not to approach it casually, let alone fall into it, otherwise Lin Changqing couldn't save them. Considering that Lu Yaoguang and his family had just arrived, Lin Changqing specifically pointed out the spiritual plants in an area and asked them to take care of them. In this way, there would be no confusion, and there would be no incidents where a spiritual plant was stimulated to give birth twice in a short period of time. After taking them for a tour and dividing the areas they were responsible for, they returned to the yard. Considering that there were now 4 more tricolor deer in the inner space, Lin Changqing also specifically instructed Zhao Liao and Su Miniang to expand the 50 acres of pasture grass in the space to at least 100 acres, and the grass seeds should be collected from the existing 50 acres. Of course, if they were willing, Lin Changqing would have no objection to planting more. After all, Zhao Liao's spirit beast would definitely be needed in the future, and it would also increase the utilization rate of the space. He also told Lu Yaoqiang to take good care of the new family. Seeing that everything had been handled, Lin Changqing exited the inner space. Back in the room, he found a bottle of blood-replenishing pills in the storage bag. After taking one, he sat cross-legged on a chair and practiced the exercises to help dissolve the medicine. To be honest, Lin Changqing could still clearly feel that he was a little uncomfortable after losing so much blood in a short period of time, but there was no way. If he didn't contract them, Lin Changqing would not be at ease. Not to mention the 3-color deer, now the space is big, and it will be bigger in the future, so more 3-color deer are needed to help take care of it. Lin Changqing even has a plan. After the foundation is successfully built, he plans to sneak into the interior of Qingyuan mountain range, cooperate with Lu Yaoqiang, and trap a few 3-color deer to work for him. Fortunately, now that he has Lu Yaoguang's family, he doesn't have to do this for the time being. There are also ground armor beasts, which are also very important. Some important plans in the future will require their help. Moreover, as natural miners in the world of immortal cultivation, they are no worse than spirit-seeking mice in their talent for finding mineral veins. In addition, the book records of spiritual beasts in Qingyuan mountain range highly praises ground armor beasts. At first, Lin Changqing thought that the author was exaggerating, but now through the example of Lu Yaoqiang, Lin Changqing understands a little. In the past, Lin Changqing also thought that the 3-color deer was an auspicious spirit beast that would not fight but only run away. Unexpectedly, after being promoted to the 2nd level, Lu Yaoqiang became so strong. Wind escape plus collision, killing key refining monks one after another, those people can't run away. This is really beyond Lin Changqing's imagination. At the same time, he also understood that no matter how honest and timid, or seemingly kind and harmless the spirit beasts are, as long as they feel danger, they will fight back and kill people. So now he is particularly looking forward to the few earth armor beasts again, and decided to accompany them as long as he has time. Build trust and increase mutual feelings, so that when they are promoted and become stronger in the future, they will not turn against them casually. Of course, the same is true for Lu Yaoguang's family. Recently, in addition to cultivation, they have been doing this. About half an hour later, the pills for replenishing qi and blood finally dissolved. Lin Changqing took out the tea set and made himself a pot of green jade tea. After drinking the spirit tea, He will start practicing the Thunder Sutra and then rest early. After all, he has been running around outside for more than 10 days. After more than 2 hours, Lin Changqing cleaned his body outside and then returned to the room to rest. The next morning, after Lin Changqing finished his training, he released Chu Ai, Chuer, and the others, and fed them. After they were full, he let them go out to play. Then it was the purple crystal scorpion group. Lin Changqing specially got some broken monster meat and threw it into the spirit beast bracelet for them to eat. Then he took out a few hundred spirit stones and left them alone. Finally, only Maoki was left. This was the easiest. Originally, Lin Changqing wanted to give it a soul-raising pill and send it away. However, considering that it really made a great contribution this time, after giving it the soul-raising pill, he also gave it 100-year-old red fruit. When Lin Changqing took out the red fruit and put it in front of it, it was a little bit unbelievable. After looking at Lin Changqing again and again, and finally confirming that it was really given to it, it excitedly hugged the red fruit and ran around in the room. Finally, it was caught by Lin Changqing and thrown back into the spirit beast bracelet to calm down. Chapter 221 Sharing Scare. After finishing all this, Chen Ziya came over. Lin Changqing was overjoyed. The occasion was not right last night, and the two of them didn't get to say a few words. Today, he finally got a chance. After finally appreciating Chen Ziya's tea art, Lin Changqing couldn't wait any longer, so he shamelessly went over and gave Chen Ziya several stamps. Half an hour later, the two finally had enough fun, and Lin Changqing let her go. Chen Ziya glared at him, then ran to where Lin Changqing had just sat, no longer giving Lin Changqing the chance to let her down. Lin Changqing laughed dryly a few times, then began to find topics to chat. Junior sister, did you come back after only 2 days in Nan County? Chen Ziya sighed, nodded and said, we only stayed for 3 days in total, and then we came back. Why is that? Did you plan to play for a few more days when you went there? Lin Changqing asked a little surprised. My brother-in-law is often not at home. He always goes out to fool around in the name of meeting friends. He didn't entertain us when we visited relatives. The most important thing is that he is not good to my sister. So we just came back. I also brought my sister and 2 children back to stay for a while, Chen Ziya explained. Lin Changqing nodded. This kind of thing is the family affairs of the Chen family, and he couldn't say anything. Instead, Chen Ziya asked, brother, did your trip to Qian Mansion go smoothly this time? Did you gain anything? Lin Changqing nodded. He had thought about this a long time ago. He couldn't tell Chen Ziya everything. After all, she hadn't entered the house yet, so he could only selectively share what he could say with her. The journey was relatively smooth. It took some time, but under the guidance of Lu Xinai, we finally found the cave. After some effort, we finally broke the restriction on the door. It's a pity that the owner of the cave is an evil cultivator. The cultivation method is also extremely vicious. It actually extracts the souls of mortals or cultivators and refines them into a special soul liquid for cultivation. The magic weapon on my body is also matched with a cultivation method. Its main function is to extract and refine souls. It is too evil, so I decided to seal up all the magic weapons and destroy all the cultivation methods. So this time, I only harvested some refining materials and some spirit stones. I didn't dare to keep the evil cultivator's cave, so I destroyed them all. After that, he took out all the spiritual materials he had harvested, put them on the table, and said to Chen Ziya, Junior sister, see if there are any suitable spiritual materials. If there are any suitable ones, just take them. I will give you half of the spirit stones later. Chen Ziya heard that what Lin Changqing had found was actually the cave of the evil cultivators. Fortunately, he had destroyed the techniques and sealed the magic weapons, so she was relieved. However, she still said to Lin Changqing with a serious face, brother, you handled it very well this time. Those evil techniques and magic weapons of the evil cultivators cannot be kept, and don't keep them with you. The 6 sects have the same attitude towards evil cultivators, that is, if they are found, they will be killed and eliminated without asking any questions. So don't covet the techniques of those evil cultivators, and don't practice them, even if it makes it easier for people to advance or has greater power. You can't get involved. And these spiritual materials, you should put them away first. The 2 of us are only in the key refining stage now. Even if we succeed in building the foundation, we are still a long way from using the magic weapons. So it's useless to take them, so I'll leave them here, brother. I'll find you to get them when I need them in the future. As for the spiritual stones, brother, keep them for yourself. I still have a lot of them, which have been enough for a long time. When I don't have any more, it won't be too late to find brother to share them with me." Lin Changqing listened to Chen Ziya's words and nodded. He couldn't help but feel a little lucky. He accidentally learned from Chen Ziya the attitude of the sixth sex towards the evil cultivators, which was just one word, kill. Although he had never thought of practicing the evil cultivator's skills, he didn't expect the sixth sex to have such a firm and tough attitude towards the evil cultivators. Then he had to be more careful and must not let the skills and magic weapons in his hands leak out, otherwise, it would hurt others and himself. As for the spiritual materials and spiritual stones, he knew that Chen Ziya was just talking. She would never take his spiritual materials or spiritual stones. Unless she really came in and the two of them became a real family in the future, she might not be polite to him. But he couldn't just say nothing, so he took out a jade box that he had prepared long ago and personally handed it to Chen Ziya. He said to Chen Ziya, "Forget about the spiritual materials. Just leave them here. When you need to refine magic weapons in the future, come and see if there's anything suitable. Junior sister, don't refuse these spiritual stones in the box. I have found those that are suitable for your attributes and will be of great help to your cultivation." Chen Ziya hesitated for a moment, but still took it and opened it to take a look. There were 500 neatly arranged middle-grade water spiritual stones inside. It's not that Lin Changqing was reluctant to give them high-grade spiritual stones. It's mainly because they don't need high-grade spiritual stones in their key refining stage cultivation, so middle-grade spiritual stones are more than enough. There are 500 middle-grade spiritual stones in the box, which is equivalent to 50,000 low-grade spiritual stones. This amount is already not small, and it is equivalent to a foundation-building pill. Moreover, the two of them will become Taoist companions in the future, and these spiritual stones will definitely be used on them. Seeing so many middle-grade spiritual stones, Chen Ziya wanted to return the jade box to Lin Changqing, but he stopped her forcefully, so Chen Ziya reluctantly accepted it. Lin Changqing knew that she would not accept other people's things casually, but when he left, he said he would give her a gift. However, this time he really didn't find a suitable gift for her, so he could only take a step back and choose a spiritual stone that suited her attributes instead. After Chen Ziya put away the jade box, Lin Changqing took out 5 storage bags, held them in his hand, and shook them to her. Chen Ziya was a little surprised and said, "Brother, you met a robbery cultivator again." Lin Changqing could only vaguely respond, "It's normal for a person to go out alone and meet a few ignorant robbery cultivators. So, try not to go out alone in the future, it's too dangerous. If you want to go there, you must tell me, and I will take time to accompany you, understand?" Chen Ziya heard this and chuckled. She was very smart. Knowing that Lin Changqing said this to scare her a little, the purpose was to stop her from running around, or to let her go out to find him to accompany her. But she still nodded and said to Lin Changqing, "I understand, senior brother. If I go on a long journey in the future, no matter where I go, I will take you with me and let you protect me. Is that okay?" Lin Changqing nodded. "That would be the best. You are not good at fighting. I am afraid it would be too dangerous for you to be alone." Chen Ziya glared at him and said, "It would be dangerous to take senior brother with you. Maybe he will bully me often." Lin Changqing was thick-skinned and laughed dryly a few times, changing the subject. "Let's go and see what these robbery cultivators have brought us." Chen Ziya smiled and nodded, and took a few of them. Both of them were very experienced in doing this job. They slightly sacrificed the storage bags and then poured the contents on the ground. Chen Ziya was responsible for refining 3 storage bags, Lin Changqing sacrificed 2 storage bags, and a spirit beast bag, but there was only a dead first-level middle-grade spirit-seeking rat in the spirit beast bag. Lin Changqing didn't release this, so he put it away first and saved it for Chewer, and the extra meal later. Then he and Chen Ziya began to sort the things on the ground. There weren't many things, and there were 2 of them, so they finished it quickly. There were 15 first-level upper middle-grade magic tools, but these things were very ordinary, and there was nothing outstanding. Lin Changqing and his partner didn't like them, so they could only put them in a storage bag first. There were even fewer spirit stones. 5 storage bags couldn't even get 2,000 lower-grade spirit stones. This might be the least harvested by Lin Changqing. He already had this hunch. There were 26 or 7 bottles of elixirs, but they were all ordinary, such as key-gathering elixirs, rejuvenation elixirs, and so on. There were even many empty bottles. There were quite a few books collected. After taking a look, they were all very widely circulated exercises, which must be in the family. There were also some practice notes and other messy things. All of these were put in a storage bag. When the time comes, some of them will be sent to the family's sutra pavilion, so that the second grandfather can sort them out slowly when he has time. Without asking, Lin Changqing knew that Chen Ziya would definitely not be interested in such things. The rest were clothes, sundries, daily necessities and the like. They were all collected together and disposed of together when they were free. Things like these without spiritual energy were generally not thrown into the deep pit. What Lin Changqing needed were spiritual objects with spiritual energy, not these ordinary things. Chapter 222, Cultivating Relationships and Building Trust. After counting and sorting out the things, Lin Changqing put them into different storage bags according to their categories, so that they could be found later. Then the two began to drink tea and chat. Chen Ziya stayed at Lin Changqing's place for a long time today. She stayed here all morning and went back at about noon. Before leaving, she returned a spirit beast bag to Lin Changqing, which contained 24 purple crystal scorpions. Before Lin Changqing set out for Qian Mansion, she stayed behind to protect her. After Lin Changqing took them, she put them into the spirit beast bracelet, and left them some minced meat and a portion of ice crystals for them to chew slowly. After Lin Changqing returned to the Chen family, his practice and daily routine became regular again. After Chen Ziya left, he activated the maze array and the spirit gathering array, and began to practice various magic skills. After more than 2 hours, he completed the practice task, thinking that the earth armor beast he had just contracted was still in the cave. There were also 3 small earth armor beasts. It had been 2 or 3 days, and he didn't know how they were doing. So Lin Changqing decided to go over and take a look at them. He communicated with Lin Changqing in his heart and asked it to leave a space mark in this room so that he could return later. Then he entered the inner space and told Lin Changqing that he was going to the cave where the ground armor beast was. After getting its feedback, Lin Changqing walked into the yard. This time, he harvested a lot of spiritual stones from the storage bracelet of the evil cultivator. Lin Changqing was going to pour the more than 50,000 medium-grade spiritual stones into the deep pit for Lin Changqing to absorb and digest. In addition, the 3 high-grade spiritual stones that he harvested in the gambling stone shop in Jianzhou Prefecture were also thrown into the deep pit. There is no way. If he doesn't throw it in, it will be a waste to leave it outside. Let Lin Changqing use it to improve his strength. He found something in the room, and then came to the edge of the deep pit. The 3 high-grade raw stones were thrown directly in, and then the medium-grade spiritual stones were poured directly from the storage bag into the deep pit. Soon, he received the feedback from Lin Changqing in his heart, and waves of happy emotion spread in his heart. Since he was promoted to the 3rd level, Lin Changqing's meaning has become clearer. The emotions conveyed by this decision are much richer than before. I hope it will recover quickly and bring more surprises to Lin Changqing. After doing this, the 7 3-color deer have calmed together near Lin Changqing. However, from the position they are standing, you can see that their relationship is different. Lu Yaoqiang's family is behind Lin Changqing, and Lu Yaoguang's family is 3 or 4 feet away. But they are all Lin Changqing's spiritual pets. Now that there are more deer, Lin Changqing changed the order and fed them the spiritual pill first. The 2nd level Lu Yaoqiang and Lu Ziya were fed 2 pills, and the other 1st level ones were fed 1 pill, from big to small. The last one to be fed was Lu Ziya. Lin Changqing took the opportunity to catch it, hold it in his arms and stroke its fur. It screamed yo-yo towards its parents in fear. Lu Yaoguang and the others also responded to it, but it seemed that they were comforting it. So soon, Lu Ziya stopped barking and stayed in Lin Changqing's arms obediently, with a pair of cute big eyes, staring at him timidly. Lin Changqing was almost melted by this little thing. Now among all of Lin Changqing's spiritual pets, it is the cutest and most adorable one. Lu Ziya has been replaced by it. Just when I thought of Lu Ziya, I didn't expect Lu Ziya to come. After calling Lin Changqing yo-yo twice, it went straight into Lin Changqing's arms. Now it is a late-stage first-order cultivation, but it is more than 4 feet tall and is almost close to adulthood. Fortunately, it is a female deer and has no antlers, so it will not hurt Lin Changqing. However, Lin Changqing still quickly hugged its neck to avoid squeezing Lu Ziya. It was jealous because it saw Lin Changqing holding Lu Ziya instead of it. Lin Changqing couldn't help laughing. He didn't expect a little deer to be so interesting. Lu Xiaoling would actually be jealous. He held them in his arms and stroked their fur, then the little male deer Lu Xiaokeng, followed by Lu Xiaomei and Lu Yaoguang. Anyway, all the three color deer were stroked, and it was time to increase feelings and build trust with them. After this contact, I felt that the relationship with Lu Yaoguang's family was much closer. Su Miniang and Zhao Liao also came over. After they finished their greetings, Lin Changqing directly ordered them to help him get 2 more bundles of fodder. In fact, just when Lin Changqing threw the spirit stone into the deep pit, Lin Changqiu had already notified him to go to the place. It was just that the deer all surrounded him at that time, and he couldn't just ignore them and leave. Especially Lu Yaoguang's family, because they had just arrived in the inner space, so he had to spend more time with them. After a short while, Su Miniang and the others brought 2 bundles of fodder. Lin Changqing didn't know whether the ground armor beast would eat this was just an attempt. Of course, it would be better if they could eat them, but it didn't matter if they didn't. Anyway, Lin Changqing had already made up his mind to let the ground armor beasts roam freely. If he was asked to raise them, he would definitely not be able to afford it, so he had to let them roam freely, otherwise, it wouldn't take long for Lin Changqing to go bankrupt. On the contrary, when the ground armor beasts found a vein, if Lin Changqing felt that there was a need, they would mine some ore and give it to Lin Changqing. This was the correct way to use the ground armor beasts after contracting them, instead of inviting them back and raising them as masters. The ground armor beasts would definitely create value for him. He put the 2 bundles of alfalfa into the back of the storage bag, and then let the deer go to play by themselves, and let Su Miniang and the others do their own things, and ignore him. Then Lin Changqing withdrew from the inner space and appeared directly in the lowest crystal mine tunnel. As soon as he looked over, he immediately saw 5 ground armor beasts. Jin Yi and Jin Er were not very energetic, and they stretched out their bodies and lay on the ground. Instead, the 3 little guys were mining. Seeing Lin Changqing coming, Jin Yi and the others were quite happy. They immediately stood up and came to his side. Lin Changqing reached out and stroked their pointed heads. To be honest, the touch was far worse than that of the 3-color deer. But after all, they were his spirit beasts, so he could only make do with them. After stroking them for a while, Lin Changqing first fed Jin Yi and Jin Er each a nurturing spirit pill. After seeing that they all liked it, he fed them another one. Only then did he have time to look at the 3 small earth armor beasts, and found that they had all advanced. They were in the early stage of the first stage before, but after taking the 100 flowers soul intoxicating wine, they are now in the middle stage of the first stage. Moreover, they were more than 4 feet long before, but now they have obviously grown a section, which should be more than 5 feet, and their height has also increased considerably. The last time Lin Changqing left, he left them a lot of monster meat, but it is gone now. It is estimated that these 3 little guys digested it after they advanced. The 3 little guys have stopped digging and are now looking at Lin Changqing. They still had a deep impression of him. He gave them an extremely painful blow and gave them advanced spiritual objects. How could they not be impressed? Lin Changqing didn't know what they were thinking. He took out a large piece of monster meat and started cutting it into strips for easy eating. He gestured to the 3 little guys. All of them were eager to try, but they didn't dare to come over. Lin Changqing was speechless. They were really a group of timid guys. Through the contract, he communicated with Jin Yi and Jin Er, and they communicated with the 3 little guys. Only then did the little guys dare to come to Lin Changqing. He started to feed them monster meat. At first, they were a little reluctant to eat it. Lin Changqing stuffed it directly into their mouths. At this moment, they let go, and Lin Changqing also took the opportunity to stroke their heads. The 3 took turns to feed meat. Every time they fed a piece of meat, Lin Changqing would touch their heads. This was done to make them accustomed to his existence and cultivate feelings with them from now on. After feeding all the monster meat, Lin Changqing finally fed them a soul-raising pill each, saving the good stuff for last. After feeding all the food, Lin Changqing did not let them leave, but kept them by his side to play. Chapter 223, or for vermilion fruit. Suddenly, he remembered the 2 bundles of alfalfa he had prepared, so he took 1 bundle out of the storage bag and placed some in front of the 3 little guys. They nibbled on it for a few times and then stopped eating. Lin Changqing was a little disappointed, but he still left the bundle of alfalfa in the open space. Anyway, there was still a lot of it in the inner space, so he didn't need to take it back. After playing with the three little earth armor beasts for a while, Lin Changqing began to check the lowest crystal ore on the ground. There were a few fingernail-sized lowest crystals on the ore. These had to be crushed to separate the lowest crystals. Lin Changqing estimated that a sufficient amount of lowest crystals would require about 2 cubic meters of raw ore. After visually estimating, there were about 50 or 60 cubic meters of raw ore here, which should be able to produce 27 or 28 portions of lowest crystals. All of them were put into the spirit beast bracelet. When I return to the inner space, I can just find an empty space to pile them up. After collecting them, he took out 200-year-old red fruits from the storage bag and fed them to Jin Yi and Jin'er, which made them very happy. They used their pointed heads to push Lin Changqing. Lin Changqing suddenly had an idea and hurriedly stopped them. Then he told them through the contract that in the future, this amount of ore could be exchanged for a spiritual fruit like the one just now. Next time, if they want to exchange for 2 spiritual fruits, they will need 2 piles of this amount of Guangxi. Jin Yi and Jin'er nodded to show that they understood. In fact, 30 portions of yellow earth crystal are only worth 1,500 spiritual stones, and 100-year-old red fruit can be sold for 2,000 spiritual stones, so Lin Changqing still lost money. However, this is the good idea that Lin Changqing thought of just now. It is to cultivate their habit of exchanging ore for spiritual fruits. Therefore, it doesn't matter if they lose money. Anyway, it doesn't matter if they are their own spiritual beasts. Suddenly, I remembered that when I came here just now, Jin Yi, Jin'er, and they were all lying on the ground. They were not digging, but the 3 little guys were digging. Moreover, they didn't look very energetic. Then I remembered that they had been stung by the purple crystal scorpion, but they were just more powerful and could basically withstand it. It was just that I hadn't treated their spiritual injuries yet. No wonder they looked listless just now. I cast a spiritual light shield on myself first, and then took out the Zuinun heavy water bottle and took out 2 small balls of Beihuzuhan wine, which was the amount carefully calculated by Lin Changqing. This amount can not only guarantee the treatment of their spiritual injuries, but also not be enough for them to advance to the 2nd level. After all, I just signed a contract with them, and the relationship between us is not that strong. So let's wait and see their performance after a while before they advance to the 2nd level. In order to avoid any uncontrollable variables, controlling the 2 small balls of spiritual wine, flying in front of Jin Yi and Jin'er, they immediately opened their mouths and swallowed them, then rushed to Lin Changqing's side and gently arched Lin Changqing's body with their heads. Lin Changqing chuckled. Although these 2 big guys look a little stupid, they are sometimes quite cute. Reaching out and touching their heads, they fell into deep sleep in just a short while. When they wake up again, the injuries on their souls should be completely healed. The divine consciousness communicated with the 3 small earth armor beasts, asking them not to disturb Jin Yi, Jin'er, and their sleep. It won't be long before their parents will wake up, so they don't have to worry. Afterwards, Lin Changqing returned to the inner space and communicated with Lin Changling in his heart, telling it that he was going back to the small courtyard of the Chen family. Then he found a place in the inner space and poured out the lowest crystal ore that he had just collected in the Kuangmei from the spirit beast bracelet space, so as not to occupy the space inside. Not long after, Lin Changling gave feedback and said that he had arrived. Lin Changqing exited the inner space and was back in the room. Although he had used it several times, it still felt very magical and was really convenient. In the future, when he went out for adventures, he would have some guarantees. At least for Lin Changqing, there would never be a situation where he could not get out after entering. Moreover, if he used this to do something bad, it would be completely unnoticed. Lin Changqing was secretly pleased with himself. The following days were relatively stable. His daily practice and daily routine became regular. Time passed day by day, and in the blink of an eye, it had been half a year. During this half year, 2 things happened. The first thing was that Lin Changqing was troubled by the matter of finding someone to ask for marriage on his behalf to Chen Ziya's parents. After thinking about it, he thought of old man Chen Qingrong, and felt that this old man should be a more suitable candidate. So Lin Changqing brought gifts and went to the home of the village chief of Tongshan village, old man Chen Qingrong, and asked him to ask for marriage on behalf of Lin Changqing to Chen Ziya's parents. After hearing Lin Changqing's intention, old man Chen readily agreed. After all, Lin Changqing helped the village solve such a big problem and saved so many people from nearby villages. Until now, There are often villagers who have been rescued and bring their families to kowtow in front of the Chen family to thank Lin Changqing for saving their lives. Moreover, the ancestors of the Lin family also came from Tongshan village, so they still have some ties with the family, so Mr. Chen readily agreed to be the matchmaker. Then he chose a good day and went to the door to ask for marriage in person. The result was of course a happy ending. After all, Chen's father and mother had already prepared in their hearts. Anyway, with the consent of Chen Ziyi's parents, everyone knows it. Now privately, Chen Ziyi's brothers and sisters, as well as several younger generations, all call him brother-in-law and uncle, and Lin Changqing also changed his words. To be honest, Chen Ziyi is already a monk, and her father and mother can no longer make the decision on her marriage. The ones who can really make the final decision should be her grandmother and great-grandmother. The reason why he took so much trouble to invite people to come to the door to ask for marriage is more to show respect for Chen Ziyi's parents and family members, and it can be regarded as a ceremony with them. At that time, Lin Changqing will have to go through it again in front of Chen Ziyi's senior and great-grandmother. The second thing is Lin Changqing's own business. In the past 6 months, Lin Changqing has successfully opened up 6 more thunder acupoints by practicing the Thunder Sutra. The suppression objects are 6 thunder golden needles, a total of 7 golden needles, 6 of which have been used, and the last one is left. Now Lin Changqing has successfully opened up 13 thunder acupoints in total, and according to his own guess, he went to the cave where the ground armor beast was and did some tests. The first is strength. After the test, he can now easily walk more than a mile by holding a stone of about 1,200 kilograms. If he changes to a stone of 1,500 kilograms, he can only walk a few dozen meters. In the past month, he has often gone to the cave to do some strength adaptation training. His strength suddenly increased greatly when he successfully opened up the 12th thunder acupoint. Now more than a month has passed. Not only has he opened up another thunder acupoint, but he has also adapted to the changes in his physical strength, and will not happen again, such as crushing the teacup. The second is the test of the body's skin and flesh, and found that the body's toughness and defense have greatly increased. In order to test more specifically, Lin Changqing searched through boxes and cabinets and found a first-grade inferior flying sword in the spoils of war. He tested it against his thighs and arms with gradually increasing force. In the end, it was confirmed that the body's toughness and defense were indeed much better than before, and the damage caused by the first-grade inferior flying sword was much smaller than he expected. At that time, the golden seal text on the light gauze magic weapon mentioned that practicing the Thunder Sutra had a body-refining effect. Of the 36 thunder acupoints that need to be cultivated in the key refining period, Lin Changqing has already cultivated 13, and the body-refining effect should be gradually revealed. Lin Changqing estimated that he should be in the early stage of the first stage of body refining now. Once he successfully opened up 24 thunder acupoints, he should be in the middle stage of the first stage of body refining. If all 36 thunder acupoints are successfully opened up, he will be in the late stage of the first stage of body refining. Anyway, the more thunder acupoints are opened, the higher Lin Changqing's body cultivation will be. I just don't know if the blood and ki in the body will condense into the blood and ki elixir of body cultivation after all 365 thunder acupoints are opened successfully. Chen Ziyi has been back for a visit for almost a month longer than expected. Although she is still very reluctant, she and Lin Changqing have decided to return to Qinghai sect tomorrow after discussing. Moreover, the two did not tell Chen Ziyi's family about this decision now. They plan to leave quietly after leaving a letter early tomorrow morning. This idea was proposed by Lin Changqing, mainly because Lin Changqing knew that this kind of sad scene of parting would affect Chen Ziyi's Taoism. So they simply didn't say goodbye. Anyway, they would come to visit them again in the future, so as not to make Chen's father, Chen's mother, and Chen Ziyi sad. According to Senior Chen Ziyi, this time, it was because Chen Ziyi's Taoism was lacking. And they were worried that it would affect her foundation building, so they arranged this visit. After much difficulty, the success was accomplished, and it could not be ruined by a painful separation. Therefore, Lin Changqing came up with this idea and persuaded Chen Ziyi to accept his suggestion. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 224 Free News. Early the next morning, after the two met up, they left Tongshan village after leaving a letter each. Chen Ziya was so reluctant to leave that she kept looking towards Tongshan village on the flying boat with tears in her eyes. Lin Changqing could only distract himself from driving the flying boat while holding her in his arms and comforting her. He also promised that he would often accompany her in the future and come back here to visit his parents and family. Only then did she feel better. Fortunately, the two of them had the first and second days of the New Year cruising in the sky to provide early warning, so they didn't have to worry about encountering sudden situations. It took a total of 3 days for the flying boat to fly in the direction of Jiufeng. Lin Changqing had already run twice and was familiar with the route. On the Chen family side of Tongshan village, the first person to discover that Chen Ziya was missing was her sister Chen Zilin. After seeing the letter left by her sister, she hurried to find her parents and brother with a letter. Then the Chen family came to the yard where Lin Changqing lived, and they only found a letter left on the table. The main content of Lin Changqing's letter was to apologize to the Chen family for his and Chen Ziya's departure without saying goodbye. Then he explained that as a cultivator, Chen Ziya would be affected by the sad parting scene, which would have a very negative impact on her future advancement. So in order to avoid this situation, he decided to take Chen Ziya away without saying goodbye, and asked everyone to forgive them. He also told them not to worry, and that they would come back to visit them when the time was right. Then Lin Changqing emphasized that they should consider moving their entire family to Qinghai City. If they decided to move, they would notify them in the same way as they did when they notified Senior Chen Jiai. After receiving the news, Lin Changqing and Chen Ziya would come and take them to Qinghai City. At that time, not only Chen Ziya, but also the Lin family would help them. They would definitely help the Chen family live and work there, and they could also reunite with Chen Ziya frequently. The last one was to ask the Chen family to keep the yard where he lived, and not let others live there, but keep it for him. This is naturally because there is a space mark left by Lin Changqiu. If necessary, Lin Changqing can quickly reach Chen's house. Of course, if it is not absolutely necessary, he will definitely not do this. Now there are 3 space marks. There is one next to the cross-continental super teleportation array, one in the lowest crystal cave where the ground armor beast lives, and finally one in the courtyard of Chen's house where Lin Changqing lives. This is the main content of the letter left by Lin Changqing. I believe that Chen Ziya's letter should be similar, maybe with more words to comfort parents and family. After reading the 2 letters they left, the Chen family looked at each other. Chen Ziya's mother and sister hugged each other sadly and cried. The father and son of the Chen family are more rational. They are now discussing the matter of moving the family to Qinghai City mentioned in Lin Changqing's letter. 2 days later in the evening, Lin Changqing and Chen Ziya drove the flying boat to the outside of Jianzhou Market, about a mile away, where Lin Changqing recalled Shui and Shuer to the spirit beast bag. Then the two of them entered Jianzhou Market smoothly with the entry and exit certificates they had obtained before. They went straight to Wanbao Pavilion and bought 2 boarding certificates to Qinghai City. This was what they had agreed on the way. The boarding time this time was 3 days later, in the morning, and the 2 rooms were Jia 11 and Jia 12. Since the passenger ship would not depart until 3 days later, they did not have to rush. Instead, they had to find a hotel to stay in first. After all, it was already dark. However, the 2 of them had stayed here for 1 night before and knew there was a hotel there, so it didn't take long for the 2 of them to find a place and book a suite. When they were together, they always booked a suite. After the shop assistant who led them left, Lin Changqing said to Chen Ziya, "Junior sister, are you tired? If not, let's go out to eat spiritual food." Chen Ziya had completely adapted to it under Lin Changqing's comfort in the past few days, but the price was that Lin Changqing promised to accompany Chen Ziya back to visit her relatives when the time was right after she established her foundation. When she heard Lin Changqing invite her to eat spiritual food outside, she of course readily agreed. The 2 of them activated the ban on the door, and then left the hotel. Lin Changqing held Chen Ziya's hand and walked side by side. There was no purpose, just wandering around. Anyway, you can always come across the spiritual food shop. However, before you come across the spiritual food shop, you see the gambling stone shop first. At this time, the gambling stone shop has been closed, but it is mainly to remind Lin Changqing that there is an insider Chen Sibao in the gambling stone shop, who has not been dealt with. If he hadn't tipped off, Zhao Liai would not have been followed and robbed by the four brothers of the Yang family. Although they did not succeed, they lost their lives. However, Lin Changqing is very vengeful. The root of everything is still on this insider, so Lin Changqing still has to deal with him, otherwise he will be unhappy and his thoughts will not be smooth. However, this matter will be discussed tomorrow. Now the main thing is to accompany Chen Ziya to stroll around and find a spiritual food shop for a meal. This is the business. After wandering around for a while, they finally saw a spiritual food shop. The two smiled at each other, and then Lin Changqing led the way and walked in. When the waiter saw that there were customers, he hurriedly came to greet them. Lin Changqing said directly, "Please help us find a quieter place." The waiter nodded repeatedly and said, "Yes, yes, both of you follow me." Then he took Lin Changqing to the innermost place and moved a screen over to serve as a partition, so that there was a relatively private space. The two were quite satisfied with it. Then they ordered 4 dishes and a soup, plus 2 bowls of spiritual rice, and still refused the spiritual wine recommended by the waiter. Anyway, when they were out, for safety reasons, Lin Changqing would definitely not drink. At this time, there were still many monks from all walks of life who came to eat. With so many people, all kinds of noises became noisy. Lin Changqing took the opportunity to popularize some knowledge to Chen Ziya. "Junior sister, don't be fooled by the fact that there are all kinds of people in this place. In fact, if you listen carefully, you can still hear a lot of useful things." Chen Ziya was confused. "What useful things? Are you talking about news?" Lin Changqing nodded, and just at this time he heard a voice from the next room. "Did you hear that those 3 colored deer were found?" Another voice rang out. "Brother Zhao, you must have just come out of seclusion recently, right? What you said happened a long time ago. Those 3 colored deer were found 2 or 3 months ago, and it caused a big fight. I heard that at least dozens of cultivators died at that time. In the end, no one knows who got them, but that matter has long passed. What everyone is talking about the most now is the 7 prefectures meeting to be held in Jianzhou market in 2 or 3 months. Such a good opportunity, what a pity. I was thinking of advancing to the great perfection of key refining this time, and I would invite a few friends to try my luck." "Where did they find them?" "I heard that they were almost at the border of Kitayan Prefecture, and more than one group of people were found at that time, so they ended up fighting." "On the contrary, the cultivators who had been searching in Jianzhou Prefecture didn't find a single deer hair." Another female voice sounded. "It's better that they didn't find it. At least everyone doesn't have to fight and fight to the death. We didn't see the 3-color deer, but dozens of people died. Our food is here. Eat the food, eat the food. Don't discuss the outdated news, or get ready to see if you can earn more spirit stones in the 7 prefecture meeting." Hearing this, Lin Changqing and Chen Ziya were also a little surprised. Lin Changqing didn't expect that he had captured 4 3-color deer half a year ago, and there were still some in other places. Chen Ziya heard that the 7 prefecture meeting would be held in Jianzhou Prefecture again. "I don't know which uncle will come to be the abbot this time, or whether it will be the grandmother." At this time, the dishes ordered by the two were also served. Lin Changqing greeted them, and the two started to eat. Because they wanted to hear the news, the two of them deliberately controlled the speed of eating, just to listen to what interesting things there were. Unfortunately, the news that followed was not what they were interested in. The two of them ate this spiritual meal for more than an hour. Finally, after Lin Changqing paid the spiritual stones, he slowly strolled back to the hotel. The two of them drank a pot of spiritual tea in the living room of the suite before going back to rest. Chapter 225 The Final Winner. The next morning, after Lin Changqing completed his training mission, he went to the living room to wait for Chen Ziya. He and Chen Ziya had an appointment yesterday. Today, the two of them were going to the gambling stone shop, and then go to the street stalls square for a stroll. Not long after, Chen Ziya came out, but it was too early to go out now, so Chen Ziya took out the tea set and brewed green jade tea for Lin Changqing. After appreciating Chen Ziya's tea art, Lin Changqing shamelessly stuck to her again. After more than half a year of getting along, Chen Ziya has basically adapted to Lin Changqing's way of expressing his feelings. Or it can be said that she has gotten used to it. After all, Lin Changqing's expression of feelings is quite direct, and she has been stamped countless times by Lin Changqing, so she is used to it no matter how uncomfortable she is. The two of them drank a pot of spiritual tea for a full hour. In the end, it was Chen Ziya who pulled Lin Changqing out of the door, Otherwise he could have hugged Chen Ziya and drank for another hour. The first destination today is the gambling stone shop. It has been half a year. I don't know if the gambling stone shop has any new goods. Last time, all the top-grade Lingxi Yuankuang in the gambling stone shop were bought by Lin Changqing, and even the treasure of the town shop that they had kept for decades fell into Lin Changqing's hands. No. It should be said that it fell into Lin Changliu's hands. After absorbing and digesting it, it was promoted to the third level, and the inner space also increased the land area of several thousand acres, so Lin Changliu is the final winner. Holding Chen Ziya's hand, he came to the front of the gambling stone shop and saw the place where the treasure of the town shop was placed before. Now there is another huge raw stone, but it is slightly smaller than the last one, and the price is also 50,000 low-grade lingxi. Seeing this, Lin Changqing couldn't help but smile on his face. The boss of the gambling stone shop must have tasted the sweetness, and he actually did this again. It's a pity that this time the innate merit true I didn't give any hints, proving that it was just a low-grade lingxi yuankuang. In short, it is definitely not worth 50,000 lingxi. Whoever buys it this time will be unlucky. Lin Changqing took Chen Ziya's hand and walked into the gambling stone shop. The shop assistant came up to them immediately and was about to speak to them. Lin Changqing had already said, "Don't bother, we can just take a look ourselves. We will find you if we need anything." The shop assistant had seen this situation many times, so he nodded, bowed and left. In fact, when Lin Changqing just came in, he had already found the insider. It was too easy to identify. He was one level taller than others and was really conspicuous. I still remember that his name should be Chen Sibao, nicknamed Chen Siyan. However, the person was seen, but how to make a move was another problem. The aftermath after the move was another problem. At least he had to avoid the pursuit of the market econ level. So it is best not to make a move in the market, which will reduce a lot of unnecessary trouble. Of course, today's main purpose is to come here to recognize the person, and the rest will be discussed later. See if you will leave the market in the next 1 or 2 days. If he leaves, it will be much more convenient to make a move at that time. After Lin Changqing stepped into the gambling stone shop and recognized Chen Sibao, he stopped paying attention to him to avoid alerting him. He said to Chen Ziya beside him, "Junior sister, let's separate and choose the raw stones by ourselves." "Wait a minute, I will meet you again." Chen Ziya nodded and agreed happily. In fact, she also wanted to take a look by herself first. After separating from Chen Ziya, Lin Changqing put his attention back to the raw stones. It has been 6 or 7 months since the last time I came. The gambling stone shop has indeed received a new batch of goods. At a glance, there are more than 20 halos of different brightness. Unfortunately, after a closer look, there is only one raw stone, which is the top-grade spiritual stone Yuankuang with a bright yellow halo. I casually wandered over and took this top-grade spiritual stone Yuankuang with earth attributes in my hand to study. It is not bad in size. I weighed and it weighed about 70 to 80 kilograms. Now Lin Changqing has also entered the physical training stage. He held the heavy items in his hands, which were light and fluttery. He then inspected the area and selected 2 larger, medium-grade lingxi yuankuang. The 3 raw stones together were estimated to be 300 or 400 kilograms. He asked the shop assistant to call the boss to settle the bill. Lin Changqing was charged with a total of 1,600 lingxi. After rejecting the boss's offer to help him cut the stones for free, he put the 3 raw stones into the storage bag. Lin Changqing then paid attention to Chen Ziya and found that she was holding 2 raw stones in her hands and was hesitating. It seemed that she didn't know which one to choose. However, Lin Changqing was speechless. The 2 raw stones in her hands had no halos, so why should he hesitate? He directly selected the largest, medium-grade lingxi yuankuang with a dark blue halo from the remaining raw stones that emitted halos. He took it and put it in Chen Ziya's hand. "Junior sister, you study this piece, I think it's good," Chen Ziya chuckled. It was rare that Lin Changqing was willing to choose a rough stone for her. No matter whether it was good or not, she had to give him face. Then she called the boss to pay the bill. Chen Ziya received 350 spirit stones for this rough stone. After Chen Ziya put away the rough stone, Lin Changqing shamelessly took her hand and left the gambling stone shop together and walked towards the street stall square. As for the insider Chen Sibao, when the gambling stone shop closed in the evening, he would come here to watch and see where he would go, and then judge whether there was a chance to make a move. The 2 strolled along the way. Anyway, they were not in a hurry. When they got there, it was just the busiest time. There were many people setting up stalls and even more people visiting the street stalls. The two smiled at each other and then joined the ranks of visiting the street stalls. Chen Ziya was in front and Lin Changqing followed behind her. Actually, 6 or 7 months ago, Lin Changqing visited this street stall square once and found a stone nest. In the past 6 months, he has been injecting spiritual energy with his breath into it. The 6 little lives inside, judging from the feedback of the consciousness intensity, are more than twice as strong as before, but it is unknown when they will break out of the shell. Of course, whether they have the ability to break out of the shell is still a big problem, so every day when Lin Changqing injects spiritual energy into them, he will carefully observe whether there are any signs of coming out. He is ready to help them when they are about to fail to break out of the shell. Following Chen Ziya, but unfortunately, there are so many stalls that I didn't find anything good, so I just collected a few common spiritual medicines that can be planted again. After strolling for an hour or two, there was nothing good to harvest. In total, I only collected a dozen plants, ordinary spiritual medicines that are dispensable. However, Chen Ziya harvested a lot, such as beautiful jade ornaments. She bought more than a dozen pieces and said that she would give them as small gifts to several fellow sisters and sisters. In the middle, Lin Changqing also saw the street vendor who sold him the stone nest, but Lin Changqing did not go over to say hello. Otherwise, if he asked how the stone nest was, Lin Changqing would not be able to answer. It was rare that everyone was happy last time, so he should not destroy this balance. After the two of them finished shopping in the street stall square, they saw that it was still early, so they wandered around the streets and alleys of the market. The market was full of their footprints, and finally Chen Ziya was satisfied and returned to the hotel suite. Then the two chatted for a while before going back to their rooms to rest. Lin Changqing carefully checked the room with his spiritual sense, and after confirming that there was no problem, he also arranged and activated a maze array. Now Lin Changqing has to hurry up and complete the daily scheduled magic practice. After completing the practice, seeing that it was almost evening, Lin Changqing quickly changed into a hidden spirit mask, thought about it, and even changed his clothes. Then he asked Lin Changqing to leave a space mark in the room. Of course, this was just in case, and it was estimated that it would not be used. After leaving the hotel, he came to the gambling stone shop with ease. He happened to see a weapon refining shop and walked in directly. He consulted the boss inside and asked you if he could refine a second-level thunder attribute talisman using the first-level top-grade thunderstruck wood heart and the appropriate amount of spiritual materials. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.